Good morning, I'm Nate Puderball with your sports update. The only undefeated team in college basketball is from the state of Ohio. Last night, number 23 Miami of Ohio moved to 25-0, knocking off the Ohio Bobcats 90-74. In top 10 action in the Big Ten, Wisconsin blew out number 10 Sparty 92-72. The Ohio State men's basketball team is in action tonight. They're out of the shot to take on the number 15 Virginia Cavaliers. Tip is set for 8 o'clock. Catch all the action right here on The Fan. And top 25 action today, number 4 Duke hosts number 20 Clemson. And number 4 Florida takes on number 25 Kentucky. We'll have fan coverage of that one at 3. Top 25 action for the OSU women's team tomorrow. The 8th-ranked Buckeyes are at home taking on number 20 Maryland tomorrow afternoon. We'll have coverage on The Fan, too. And out of the Olympics, the United States men's hockey team looks to move to 2-0. They take on Denmark at 3:15 Eastern. Breaking sports news, what happens on The Fan? Ohio Sports Destination.
The Fan is live and local with Fan Sports Saturday. The Fan Sports Day of the Week. Oh, this is some clever branding. Here's your host, place, name, here.
Happy Valentine's Day. We're going to hope to serve...
Wait, you were saying it to me or to the listeners?
Everybody.
Oh, okay, like
to
a
you,
personal thing.
Jeff Thidoff. To you, Nate Puderball.
Okay. All right, sorry.
I'm your radio Valentine today.
You are.
In the event you don't have, maybe somebody in your life, or you've aired on a last-second reservation and you're in the Valentine's Day doghouse, you're making an O above your heart.
It's supposed to be a heart sign.
You did not make that.
I didn't.
For those, I don't know if you can see it on the YouTube feed, but that was not a heart. You were trying to do the thing that the kids are doing these days where you make the heart with your hands.
Yes, what I was trying to do.
Yours was an O. You look like an Oregon fan.
That's fine. Oh, no, I look like an Ohio State fan. Oh.
Sure.
Okay. Don't do that.
I didn't know they did that.
Don't you dare try to say no. Don't say I made it over an Oregon as an Oregon fan. That right there is.
Well, I think they were the first ones to do that, to throw their O's up.
All right,
but that's fine. It was a good try, and I appreciate you and all of your effort.
My wife says every Valentine's Day.
Well,
hey, good try.
Okay, so what are you doing for your wife for Valentine's Day,
dude? I put a bow on my head this morning and woke up.
Oh, so I always thought you were going to... At least you didn't say whipped cream bikini.
No, not anymore.
That's a painful image.
That ended in the 40s. Not my 40s, not the 1940s.
I was about to say. And also, whipped cream doesn't hold like that. And what got me to thinking about Ali Lauder and that famous scene from Varsity Blues was the news this week of James Van Der Beek's passing. And I'd wondered, do they know what... The whipped cream doesn't work like that.
That's what I've heard.
Doesn't have the same kind of hold. But we're hoping to be that kind of Valentine for you on the radio today, right?
YouTube.
We've got two of our Valentines, and Tyler Danburg and Kevin McGuff on the program. Danburg's going to join at 10:30. Kevin McGuff, who celebrated wins 500 and 501 last weekend, will join us at 11:17. The basketball Buckeyes have Maryland tomorrow at the Schottenstein Center. It's a 2 o'clock tip. We'll have coverage right here on The Fan at 1:45. As you heard Nate there in the update, the basketball Buckeyes have another opportunity for a quad one win. I guess the Northwestern win for Ohio State was upgraded to a quad one victory. Ohio State tomorrow or tonight on the road in Nashville taking on number 15 Virginia. That's an 8 o'clock tip on Fox. You can hear that right here on The Fan with coverage at 7. I hate the idea that they're doing that in the middle of the conference play. Just going down to Nat. Sure.
Yeah, if they win,
you love it if they win.
Deal.
No, yeah, because it's a
dog.
Yeah, Virginia's good.
Yeah.
But this Ohio State team, I think if they can shoot well tonight, they can get a win. I think that's the recipe, right, for the basketball Buckeyes without having Brandon Knoll.
Are you rooting for them or against them?
So that's insane.
Okay.
Boy, have we had a week, right?
Yes, we have.
It's an insane proposition where you root for a team, you want a team to succeed, and you say, I hope they don't make the tournament, or I hope they don't make the postseason, so that a difficult conversation can be had about the coaches and the players. I've done this with Guardians fans, Tito, over the past decade, it feels like.
Yeah.
Where Guardians fans, not thrilled with the lack of spending by the Dolans, and that they're infamous for that, would rather the Guardians not make the postseason, so it forces the Dolans to change how they operate.
Right.
And again, to me, that's insane, because you never know when Big Christmas can get a lucky pitch off of Tarek Skubal,
right,
and all of a sudden you're advancing in the postseason. So you make those kind of postseason appearances to say, let the cards fall, let the chips fall where they may.
Right.
Let's you can make some magic. You got to get in first. And so if you're having that kind of a conversation internally or externally, whether it be on the radio or social media about this Ohio State men's basketball team,
right,
if you're rooting for them, you want them in the big dance. Just at the base level.
Sure.
Am I an Ohio State fan? Yes, I want them in the postseason. It was like with Michigan. You lose to Michigan in 2024, and you go, I don't want to see this Ohio State team in the college football playoff. Why?
Yeah.
Why? It's insane to me. And so a similar conversation, as I'm sure now you are all aware, happened on The Fan this week. It's an insane take. And I told T-Bone as much. It's like, that's insane to me. You want them in the tournament. They have a huge opportunity to really, I think, to start putting down foundations for a tournament caliber resume with a win tonight against Virginia and Nashville.
So there's a big difference between wanting your professional team to lose and wanting a college team to lose. What I mean by that is, obviously, we know about the tank in the NBA. We've seen what the NBA fined a couple of teams this week for tanking. In the NFL, you lose, you get a higher draft pick. But when I look at this Ohio State team, and I did a lot of thinking on this, Reese, more so than I normally would.
That's a terrifying thought.
Tell me about it. This is the conclusion I came to. If West Virginia's head coach was a West Virginia guy getting his shot, and they had a fifth-year senior or fifth-year player, fourth-year player, whatever, like a four-time captain going for his first NCAA tournament appearance, I would not root against it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you have to root for Ohio State. I'm not saying you have to root for it. You don't have to root for it. But I would not openly root against it.
Well, that's why I use the Guardians and Jose Ramirez, right? Where I want to see Jose with those opportunities to make magic in October.
Right.
Because in baseball, you can tank. You can be the Chicago White Sox and just be a really bad organization.
Right.
And no amount of draft picks will help you. So I think that's the closest thing I've ever come to this conversation about the Ohio State men's basketball team. And yesterday, I think it was USA Today, had the most recent bracketology, had the Buckeyes in as a 10 seed, taking on St. Louis in the first round of the tournament. Now, St. Louis has Robbie Avila.
Oh, they got the guy. They got the other bird.
Cream.
Yes.
Abdul-Jabbar. C-R-E-A-M. Abdul-Jabbar.
Right,
and that is exactly what you want in a March Madness matchup, right?
Yes.
You want Ohio State taking on the St. Louis Billikens, who you don't think about at all but in March.
Right.
And yes, St. Louis would right now, because they're ranked and playing much better than the basketball Buckeyes are, would be favored. Obviously, the higher seed. They have them projected in Oklahoma City, but you would still get Buckeye fans to go out and watch this thing. Yeah. And you still get the idea of what if? What if the 10-seed plucky Ohio State basketball Buckeyes can make a magical run in March? And that's what you hope for this. Then, to your point about Bruce Thornton.
Yeah.
I cannot for him go his entire college career without playing meaningful in March. Yeah. I want that so bad for him. Yeah. I also want it so bad for the guys like Devin Royal and for Junie Mobley, who still have some eligibility left. Now, I guess Bruce, if he did judge shopping in the Franklin
he could say he has 5 more years.
He could probably argue for some extra eligibility. Yeah. I don't expect that from Thornton.
No.
But for those guys that are on the team with eligibility left, this would be a great opportunity for them to play them, to have that tournament experience for next year.
Right.
Because you've got Anthony Thompson, not the Chocolates, the basketball player.
Not the Indiana running back.
And
either.
Alex Smith coming in from a recruiting class that, regardless of your feelings on Jake Diebler, he's going to get the opportunity to coach those two next year.
Yes. And he should. Absolutely should. And Reese, for all the talk about that, I caught hell the other way because I had said that I do believe this. I think Ohio State has the ingredients of a team that could be successful in the end. I'm not saying win it, but be successful.
Didn't the general go one step further and say Sweet 16?
I think one of us, we've talked about it in the air. Yeah, I said I think they have the DNA of a Sweet 16 team.
So that's also insane to me. Based off of what I've seen from this team, I wouldn't right now put them as a Sweet 16 team, but there's still time in this season to get healthy and to play with a lot of confidence. You don't see them playing with a ton of confidence in consecutive games lately. You need that for March.
Dynamic scorer you can count on in the clutch in Thornton.
Okay.
A guy who can carry your team if he gets hot in Mobley. And then I think that as long as everyone's healthy, I think they do have depth now. I feel more confident in the depth now than I did 6 weeks ago.
Certainly.
So those kind of, and also battle tested through the Big Ten,
Well, like you saw with what happened last night, the Big Ten's going to be competitive night in and night out. I didn't have on my bingo card Wisconsin doing that to Michigan State.
Yeah.
I also didn't have it. I did have this. I'll lie.
Oh, here we go.
As an Ohio Bobcat. I figured it would go the way it did at Millett Hall. I mean, that Miami team is legit. Mm-hmm. They don't wait for the shot clock. They are aggressive. They play physically. and they can get their shot. It was before halftime, and it might have been Suter, took 2 steps across half court and shot a Caitlin Clark 3.
Right.
And it's like this. It's not the Bobcats' night. No. Miami goes to 25-0, 12-0 in MAC play. They have 6 more games left on the schedule. 6 more till 31-0.
Okay, so Ohio guy, Ohio Bobcat guy.
Ohio Bobcat, yes.
Okay. This is good for the MAC, right?
I think so.
I think so.
I think this is good for college basketball, but
sure, yeah, but it's good for the
Mid-American Conference. I agree.
Yeah, I think it's a good. As much as it sucks, I know because I know you win last time. I'm sure it was great for you, but it's just the Miami's success. So yeah, I believe we're talking more about MAC basketball than we normally would.
Yeah, I think the conversation always needs to go to some leagues deserve more than just their auto bid.
Sure.
The Mid-American Conference, I've maintained for as long as I can remember, has 1 or 2, maybe 3 teams that are deserving of bids in the NCAA tournament. This Miami Redhawk team is absolutely deserving of a bid. But there has been the conversation, and Tito, we've had it on the Saturday Spectacular. They've got to win the Mid-American Conference tournament, in my opinion. And that's a shame.
I still think one loss gets in.
It depends on where that loss is, I think, is another conversation. Because on Bishop and Friends this past week, we had Mike DeCourcy on, who does college basketball for everybody.
All right.
He said that if they lose in their first game in the MAC tournament, then they're going to be some nerves.
Yeah.
If they're able to make it to the MAC championship game, similar to what you had in 1999, where they lose to Kent State in the MAC tournament championship game, and then both teams go. Kent State gets the auto bid, but Miami with Wally Zerbiak gets in as an at-large bid.
Right.
That's something I could see happening. It would be Akron in this case, the Zips. And actually, I didn't know this until yesterday, but Travis Steele, the coach of the Redhawks, and John Gross are brothers. They're half brothers. They're half brothers.
Step brothers.
Half. They're not, no,
it's fine. I wanted to hear the Will Ferrell. I wanted to see. That's what I was trying to picture them as. But they're okay. Half brothers. Got it.
That would be the ultimate thing. I'm trying to say. I think they've played this season, and it was earlier. But if they meet in the MAC tournament championship, Miami and Akron, they need to both wear tuxedos.
That would be
that would be understanding the situation. Yeah. So it looks like Miami won by 3 points, and it have back in January 3rd at Millett Hall. There have been games for the Redhawks where it's been by the seat of your pants,
right?
And you are clinched the entire second half. But that's what's wonderful about college basketball.
Yeah,
and it's games like that Miami's been involved in that go down to the last second. A missed shot for Buffalo at the buzzer doesn't go the way of the Bulls, and Miami escapes that game. Is why I think for Ohio State, if you just do what you're expected to do and get a win against a team with a number next to it, you can have the opportunity to make some magic in March. We'll do a lot of basketball conversation as we're halfway through February, so we're thinking spring tings on the Fan. We've got Olympic coverage today as well. The U.S. men's national team on the hockey side is a juggernaut. The women are on to the semifinals. They crushed Italy yesterday. You're looking at Team USA, second in overall medal count, second in gold with 4, or no, third in gold with 4. Norway's got 8. Italy's got 6. But plenty of Olympics to discuss on the show today. But for the Mid-American Conference, a new team will be joining as a football member soon. Does it make any sense? That's next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Big Voice Guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
It's Timmy Hall and Common Man for Hollywood Casino Columbus, and all month long, there's so much money to win.
You can win $1 million instantly, plus every week there's multiple ways to score big Penn Cash prizes.
And new members who sign up for the Penn Play app can win up to $2,026 in Penn Cash.
And you see the brunch items they still have at the Sportsbook restaurant? Biscoff stuffed French toast, Country Benedict.
Plus, on March 6th, we got Muay Thai and Championship Boxing tickets available on Ticketmaster.
Oh, Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Always still look at myself as a high-performing athlete, even at 40 years old. And so I want to go able to run fast and do things that I could 15 and 20 years ago. And it was getting to the point where the pain was starting to limit that.
Pain attacks people from all walks of life, not just former professional athletes like Bobby Carpenter. That's where QC Kinetics non-surgical treatment steps in.
And now that the pain is gone, I've been able to go and do the stuff that I love and run fast and run sprints and try to get back to where I was.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments use your body's own healing properties to deliver long-term relief without surgery.
Now, being able to go and work out and do the stuff that I want to do and challenge my body, it's made me a better person, a more pleasant person to be around.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
When you've been injured in an accident, hurt on the job, or in a medical mishap, there are many reasons to call Morgan & Morgan. But here's reason number 5. We try more cases than anyone in America by a wide margin. We are on approximately 150 dockets a week and win a lot. Go to forthepeople.com to see our verdicts and results. I believe our results give you the best chance of a fair, fast, and just settlement. Insurance companies know who we are by reputation. Imagine me doing this ad if it wasn't true. They would be laughing. Trust me, nobody is laughing. Their employees and adjusters often hire us when they're hurt. They know, and now you know. All law firms are not alike, not even close. With over $30 billion collected for our clients, we became America's largest injury firm for a reason. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Great Lakes Hyundai wants you to save your refund this tax season with 90 days of no car payments and 0% financing on 26 Hyundai Santa Fe's and Tucsons for up to 60 months. No payments, 90 days, 0%. Keep your tax money in your pocket. Go now for the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With proof credit, some customers may not qualify. Interest accrues during no payment period. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Offer ends 3/2.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble with Chip Wood.
Our owner?
Free oil changes along with alignment?
On any 4-tire purchase.
And Michelin's up to $100 off?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. And what do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Michelin's and save up to $100 more. See store for details.
Your mornings are jam-packed. So if you're going to add anything, make it your favorite bite from Tim Hortons. Buy any size beverage and add a daily baked donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. It's the best way to add more to your morning. The 1-2-3 menu, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra exclusions and terms apply at timhortons.com/offer-terms.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Back in the day, if you wanted to listen to the Fan, you turned on the radio, and that was the end of the story. But now, oh baby, stream us live on the Fan app. TuneIn app, iHeart app, we're everywhere. The Fan, Ohio's streaming destination. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies are expected here for your Saturday with high temperatures up into the 50s here for this afternoon. Now we are expecting more cloud cover coming in here for this afternoon into tonight as some rain showers will arrive after midnight here into our Sunday morning. Not expecting much rain and mostly south of I-70 here for your Sunday. High temperatures are into the upper 40s here on Sunday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Now, Tito, I know that you and Bob have discussed this because I know you and Bob. I don't know if it's necessarily been discussed on the air, but a viral video that circulated earlier this week that reportedly shows players at the University of Michigan doing a legal substance in the locker room. Weed's legal in Michigan. So there's a video circulating that purports Michigan football players and the I don't know if I want to explain hotboxing necessarily on the air, but they enter a locker, take a couple puffs,
right,
let it sit, and walk out of the locker. Now, the placard above the locker is clearly Michigan football. If the video is actually real, Kyle Whittingham's got some explaining to do. Now, I fell for this last night because there's an account out there, and this is why you really got to be careful on social media, that purported to have an apology from Michigan quarterback Bryce Underwood.
Right, I saw that also.
And I'm not sure if he's in the video or not because it is blurry. You can make out certain things, again, if the video is real. And so I fell for the apology. Don't ever, before you post something or repost something, double, triple, quadruple check it.
Don't ever assume Michigan is going to apologize for anything.
That's also
true because the arrogance of the Michigan man knows no bounds. Because Connor Stallions this week tried to appeal the NCAA for his 8-year show cause, and the NCAA told him, "You made a documentary about it, man. Like, there's no reason we're going to let you out of this." Like, no Michigan man will ever get out of their show cause penalty. The program basically just gets to skirt everything outside of paying some fines, which to them probably means nothing as long as they're able to win games on the field. So just be careful out there when you're on those social media streets, because we can't confirm if that video is real, but by now you've probably seen it. If not, you could probably find it. Ohio State fans online are having great fun at the expense of the Michigan man. If, in fact, those are Michigan players, if what they are doing is smoking weed, if where they are is the Michigan locker room. Now, weed is legal in Michigan, but you probably can't smoke it in the locker room.
I would think
Probably
that'd be
not.
frowned upon. Yes, I would think that'd be frowned upon. So to this point, like you and I, neither one, I did research. I can't tell if it's real or not. I don't feel confident saying it's real.
No, you have to use all of those caveats of purportedly reported what looks like to me.
Yes.
And we won't post the video because that would, I think, be irresponsible of us. But you can go and find it. What I also think is irresponsible is...
I think we're done posting videos this week.
Well, maybe just not worry about too much engagement for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Tyler Danburg does a really good job when he covers the women's basketball, or when he calls women's basketball games either on the Fan 2 or Ohio State and Maryland play on the Fan on Sunday. He's got videos of, pregame, during the game, after the game on Instagram. I think that's good content.
Yes, I agree.
Content that doesn't require engagement one way or the other. I will say this. And I've got many thoughts about T-Bone's take there. It does show that there's less apathy than I thought for the Ohio State basketball program, because watching that game against Michigan from last Sunday, when you heard "Go Blue" reverberate around the Schottenstein Center, that was the most alarming thing from that. Because, no, I didn't expect Ohio State to beat Michigan. I did expect them to compete for an entire game. They did not. No. And I didn't expect to hear "Let's Go Blue" all the way around the Schottenstein Center. And I thought to myself, that could be the low point in this. And if you let it go too much further with the apathy towards Ohio State men's basketball, you're sunk, because you can't use apathy to fundraise.
Right.
You can't have apathetic boosters and donors and expect them to pay for rosters that are going to require more and more money every single year. Apathy will kill you in the NIL era. You'll never have apathy with Ohio State football, but you have it with Ohio State men's basketball, and I felt that it was only going to get worse. And that's another reason why I think a tournament run is so making the tournament and having some hope is so important, because it would kill it would not necessarily kill. That might be the wrong word. It would, I think, halt increasing apathy.
So, Reese, the way I look at it is, and you mentioned earlier, you said that, I want to make sure I quote you correctly or semi-quote you correctly. You said that no matter what, next year, Diebler's here coaching those guys.
Yeah, they're not going to not let him coach those two he recruited.
I agree also. I think that's the case. I think he will be here next year. So that being said, if they miss it this year and next year, I get it. If they miss it this year, I get to having like a conversation. You know what? We got to look at this. I'm not saying make a change. I am saying, though, he should be here next year coaching, and that's after 3 full years, and the one interim run there. I think at that point we should know if Jake Diebler's got the program going in the right direction.
I just remember a decade ago when you had new coaches, you gave them more than 2 years.
Yeah.
I understand the way things are going with the program. I understand you had him the same time that Dusty May was at Michigan, and look where the Wolverines are compared to where your program is right now.
Right.
I would just say that this is a results-based business, so I just want to hesitate and say that I hate asking fans to be patient, but I think patience should be exercised a little bit more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but like I look at it, I think this year has been much better than last year.
Yeah.
Like it's last year, remember how long, like, first of all, the off-the-court stuff last year. Remember with Bradshaw, with who was the cat that came back from South Carolina and then left again?
Michie Johnson.
Yeah, who never really played.
And then his cousin.
Yes.
And you kind of knew when Michie had left, they were going to lose out on the Marcus Johnson sweepstakes.
Right. And then the fact that Bradshaw was invisible and allergic to paint and also had the off-the-court stuff that we talked about, that was talked about. But I'm saying, like, this year seems so much better to me than last year. And I know you say results-based. And yes, look, there's not the off-the-court stuff. Transfers are contributing. And they had a winning record in January, and they're playing meaningful basketball. There's still meaningful basketball going on
live
in February. I think that's an improvement.
Yeah, I agree. Now, what I had teased in the break, or going into the break, was college football expansion is gone a little bit too far now. I thought it was trending in that direction when the Big Ten, traditionally an Eastern conference,
right?
An Eastern United States conference,
Midwest
added
Coast.
added USC, UCLA. Now it's a national conference.
Yes, it is.
Earlier in the week, South Dakota State, or North Dakota State, I should say, the North Dakota State Bison announced that they were going to be heading to the Mountain West Conference as a football-only school. They're going from the FCS to the FBS starting in 2026. They're paying $15 million to do so. I think right now they've got an appeal to not have to sit out postseason play for the next, because what you'd have to do is if you join in 2026, you can't compete until after the 2028 season. Now, North Dakota State's got 10 FCS national championships, one of the winningest programs in all of college football, regardless of the divisions. Probably thinks itself able to compete for a college football playoff spot right now. I would like to see that happen. So in this case, I'm rooting for the Bison to win that appeal for the NCAA. They already paid $15 million.
If you're in, you're in.
Come on.
Right?
You're good enough. You should be able to go. Like, I didn't like it when it happened to James Madison.
Right.
I don't love it for North Dakota State. So I'm for this, for North Dakota State to make the move. Maybe South Dakota State follows. Maybe Montana State follow as well. But Sacramento State will be coming to the Mid-American Conference soon. They're looking to join in 2026. Now, Sacramento State, Tito, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
It's based in Sacramento, California.
That's what I heard. UCLA's former head coach told me that. Yes, it is in California. Sacramento, California.
So they want to join the Mid-American Conference.
Mid-American Conference, yes. What's Sacramento?
Make that make sense. Because I also think that the Mountain West has Northern Illinois as a football school as well.
Which was a former MAC school.
Former Mid-American Conference school. And the Mid-American Conference also added UMass. I understand that you look, if you're Sacramento State, if you're I understand if you're North Dakota State, if you're South Dakota State, if you're Montana, or if you're Montana State, and you have really done all you can at the FCS level, and you want to try greener pastures, or you want to try your luck and see, much like soccer clubs or football clubs in Europe, they want to be promoted.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Sacramento State doing this does not.
And just, Reese, is it going to be football only or all sports?
Football only is the report right now.
Okay. Then I kind of understand football only. Just from the standpoint of the MAC is an upgrade for them. So I get that point of it. What would bother me is if they did an all sports thing. If it's football only, I'm okay with football only. If you're doing football only, the geography doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me.
It's just I don't know. If you're Sacramento State, can you afford to fly a football team to Ohio 5 times a year?
Well, I'll go one step back before even thinking about the logistics in season. They got to pay $15 million to make the move. You got to do $10, $11 million to jump up. Or no, you got to do $10, $11 million, to go from FCS to FBS. And then it gives you pay another $5 million to join the conference. So you're looking at $15 million that Sacramento State's going to have to cut in one or two checks.
Right.
Which, they have that?
I don't know. I didn't do a search on Sacramento State alums. I wonder if there's somebody we don't know about that's a Sac State booster.
The decision's expected per Ross Dellinger to come this week. In deep discussion with California-based FCS schools more than a week now, MAC executives are reaching a point of a final decision on a move that would bring a windfall to current member schools. So that $15 million would be divided up against the member schools in the Mid-American Conference. And I do understand from their standpoint, hey, you're just going to give us money? Great. We'll take all the money we can get. Because so many of these schools in the Mid-American Conference and in the FCS, or in the group of 6 now, because the Pac-12 is part of that.
I think it's part of 6, yeah.
The group of 6, the FCS, are all operating at least some maybe in the green.
Right, but
most negative, most in the red.
Most are Rutgers.
Famous Sacramento State alum include director Ryan Coogler, Lester Holt, and one Tom Hanks.
Oh, maybe you got Hanks money in there. How about this?
Is he their Mark Cuban?
Hanks might want to win the MAC.
Well, look, you're going to have to go through the Ohio Bobcats to do it. That makes no sense. It's and really, what we're about to discuss next makes even less sense.
Oh, good.
Because Joey Aguilar's probably going to play for the Tennessee Volunteers in 2026. We'll discuss. It's Sports Saturday on the Fan.
Save big money on your next painting project at Menards. Pristine interior paint and primer in one is Dutch Boy's best hiding and most durable paint. It delivers a smooth, elegant finish while providing maximum scuff, stain, and mark resistance. Save big money on Dutch Boy paints and get your painting project started today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Get your day started with T-Bone and Tybus weekday mornings from 6 to 9 here on The Fan. You think that a radio lifer and a national title winner wouldn't have much in common, but you'd be wrong. They're both girthy, they both love football, and they both get racially profiled for completely different reasons. It's like driving to work with your friends, except these friends give away tickets to things and talk to all the important people in town. Your actual friends are probably a bunch of losers. Well, anyway, listen to T-Bone and Tybus live on The Fan app, and wherever you get your podcasts.
My advisor at Plant Moran Wealth Management knows my definition of wealthy. Rescue animals. Everywhere. So, my husband and I bought property and opened a sanctuary. It's our happy place. And from the sound of it, it's their happy place too.
You have your own personal definition of wealthy. Plant Moran Wealth Management knows it takes a personal approach to get you there. Experience the difference with Plant Moran Wealth Management. Book a consultation today.
I thought mixing bleach with my floor cleaner would take the stain out.
When my youngest ate the dog's medicine, that was a new one.
I was trying to protect my garden, but I accidentally sprayed myself with pesticide.
So I called 1-800-222-1222, the poison helpline.
A poison expert helped me figure out what to do next.
I was connected to someone who spoke Spanish.
They answered my questions.
It was free.
It was confidential.
It was real help in real time.
Keep the poison experts in your pocket. 1-800-222-1222.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Instead of annoying national people talking to you this weekend, we've opted for annoying local people. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, it is. Reiser, Tito, Nate, rolling with you until noon on this Valentine's Day edition of the program. We'll have an hour from now Tyler Danburg on with us, and then at 11:17, Kevin McGuff will join the program. His 8th-ranked Ohio State women's basketball team got for him for Valentine's Day, an early Valentine's Day gift, his 500th career win, and then 501 when they're out of the Pacific Northwest last weekend. They look to extend their winning streak tomorrow, taking on Maryland. The 20th-ranked Terrapins are in town at 2 o'clock. We'll have coverage right here on The Fan at 1:45. For the men's basketball team and for Jake Diebler, they've got number 15 Virginia tonight in Nashville. That game's at Bridgestone Arena at 8 o'clock. Pre-game coverage on The Fan will start at 7. An interesting bop out-of-conference play to do this. Get a paycheck.
Yeah.
Earn yourself a quad 1 win. Come back to Columbus and feel better as you go back into Big Ten play.
We had a similar conversation. I don't know if we did or not. Who the hell?
Maybe.
Could have been us.
Sure.
When the Ohio State women did a similar thing MLK Day. They did the the game against TCU down in Atlanta. And TCU was it was a ranked team. TCU was ranked like 11th or 10th, when it happened. And now I'm more thinking, I think it was me and Austin were hosting the show that day, but we had McGuff on and was like, looking back, do you wish you wouldn't have? He said, yeah, what was I thinking kind of thing. Now they got to win, so it worked out great. It was a big win for them. Well, Ohio State men feel the same way. Will they look at this afterwards and say, man, I'm glad we scheduled that game, or damn?
Yeah, I think the result's the most important part of that.
Yeah.
You get the check from whoever's putting on the Nashville Hoops Showcase.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're able to beat Virginia, that's a quad one win. That's an absolute resume builder that with that win and then wins against similar competition. Because I do think Wisconsin moved themselves out of the group that they occupied previously with Ohio State.
Yep.
And there's a glut of teams in the middle of the pack in the Big Ten that are probably competing for one at-large bid in the NCAA tournament.
Yes.
I was looking at Iowa, Indiana, Ohio State, USC, all sitting there now with the Buckeyes win over the Trojans, maybe bumps the Trojans out of that little that spot. Yeah. I think Wisconsin's firmly put themselves in the big dance without having to do the Dayton dancing.
Wisconsin looks good lately.
Yeah.
Really
playing hot at the right time.
Yeah.
And that's something I think we hope for the Ohio State men's basketball team. Some sanity came to college sports on Monday, where the NCAA ruled against Charles Bediako in Alabama,
right,
keeping the former NBA G Leaguer out of competition for the Crimson Tide forever. He did play in 3 G League games that should cancel out your eligibility. Now, that's a big win for the NCAA to start the week. So if you're the college sports, if you're that body, you're thinking, all right, great, this is a good omen for things to come later in the week. Well, then Thursday, a judge in Mississippi ruled for Trinidad Chambliss in his return to Ole Miss in 2026. And that yesterday in Knox County, a judge did not rule in the case of Joey Aguilar, who's seeking an extra year of eligibility, says that the years he spent at junior college should not count towards his Division I eligibility. And so this judge that they found in Knox County, a Tennessee graduate.
Shocker.
You would think, okay, he probably should get a favorable ruling. And I think yesterday was about as favorable as you could, in that he didn't rule and said that he would have to take more time before he ruled whether or not Aguilar should be eligible. And now the Volunteers, I do believe, need Joey Aguilar to be competitive this season. You saw it with the Nico Malieva stuff. They could have fallen into a chasm, but Aguilar gave them really competitive play this season. And they're arguing that if he doesn't get this injunction, if they rule in the favor of the NCAA, then he would lose out on $2 to $4 million by not being the quarterback of the Tennessee Volunteers next season. And the judge, in his summary of the events yesterday, basically told Aguilar's side, you got to prove it.
Yeah.
And that's to the point, Tito, we've been making for a long time of none of this is transparent. So good luck to Aguilar's team in trying to prove that it's a $2 to $4 million loss for their client.
That's the part, yes. The fact that there's so much stuff that's hidden on layers. You know what I mean? It's like it's layered to where you'll never get the truth out of it. You'll never get the real thing. And that's the part, because you can be deceptive in this.
Everybody is.
Yeah.
I will say this, everybody, but I think Ohio State is one of a few that's not trying to deceive. I mean, you don't see the Buckeyes doing anything like this.
Right.
You did not hear really anybody but Bruce Pearl, maybe Tom Izzo, speak out about the Charles Bediako case, because everybody was kind of doing something similar.
Right, yeah.
Where you're taking a guy like Matthew Grucic for the basketball Buckeyes, played professionally. Now he played it overseas. So it's not the exact same thing, but everybody, or so many big programs, have kind of eligibility gray areas with some of their guys.
Every big-time program in football and basketball, Reese, this goes back to the beginning of college sports. There's something going on at every single school that if you wanted to, I'm not saying and I'm not accusing like people at Ohio State of doing something that's insane and cheating, but if you went through and looked at every single school with a microscope, went through and dug through everything, you could find something that is violating the spirit of an NCAA rule. which NCAA rules sounds like an oxymoron.
Well, you got to enforce it.
I know.
Right? Rules without enforcement are just suggestions.
Yes.
And so I think so many coaches are operating in that gray area that the NCAA, the College Sports Commission, has allowed them to operate in.
Right.
We talked to Paul Feinbaum earlier this week on Bishop and Friends, and he said he got an invitation to go join our esteemed representatives on Capitol Hill for another college sports discussion.
Okay.
There is yet another representative that has put forth a 4-pillar plan to save college athletics. That 4-pillar plan will die in committee. The government is not coming to save this. This needs to be the coaches that band together and say, here are the rules. Here's what we're going to follow. We're going to agree to, if you break these rules, this is what happens to you, your team, and your program. It has to be on the coaches. We can no longer be doing the thing where we expect athletic directors, school administrators, conference commissioners, and the NCAA or the College Sports Commission or even the federal government to help you here.
So the word save, I'm not saying it was your word because it was the word that says about save college football.
Just saving college sports.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think it needs to be saved?
No.
I've heard save college football, save the NBA All-Star Game, fix this, fix the Pro Bowl, fix this, save this. I don't think college athletics need to be saved right now. I don't think it's at that point yet. It needs to be tweaked. Saved is such a strong phrase. You know what I mean?
That's why it's being used by the government.
Yeah.
I would argue, right? You want, when you save something, you go,
thank God we saved that.
It will die if we don't.
Yes, that's right. That's what I look at too.
And death kind of makes you move a little bit quicker when you're like, well, we got to save that from imploding or from death. So I understand the semantics with it. It just, the idea that the government's going to come in and agree on anything is a wild thing to me. So maybe in a week or two, you'll have a ruling on the Joey Aguilar case. Diego Pavia, I think, is still waiting for another hearing on his. I mean, boy, these billable hours by NCAA lawyers, by representatives for these student athletes are great.
The best thing to do right now is be a sports-based lawyer. That's the most incredible job.
Represent a player, or represent the NCAA.
Hey, man,
in all of this.
I told Michael Bennett that. Mike Bennett, I told him, look, man, you got your law stuff. You got your law degree. I said, focus on, sport. I would say I go to every high school conference in the in Columbia, in Ohio, and just say, look, need advice? I'm here for you. On NIL stuff, I'll learn that stuff. And you might get a couple of big-time clients out of it down the road.
Some more insanity, this time from Tony Petiti, comes your way next at Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Germain Honda of Dublin cares about your vehicle and your time, and they do that with same-day service with no appointment necessary. Sell them your vehicle at their buying center and get paid as soon as the same day. Shop great lease and finance offers on all the Honda favorites, like the Passport, the Odyssey, and the redesigned Pilot. Service it, sell it, or drive something new. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, or online at germainhondaofdublin.com.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like nuclear reactor safety expert.
I disabled the backup cooling system. It was making such an annoying noise. You heard it, right? It was like,
We're on a countdown to core failure.
And you're saying we don't want that?
This is your job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free. Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free. Really?
Really. Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9th. Restrictions apply.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron, it's Sump Pump Month.
There's a Sump Pump month?
Well, it's more of a season than a month, but I am still hoping the name will catch on.
Get Eco.
But this time of year, when the snow starts to melt and the rain starts to fall, everyone worries about water in their basement.
And whether their sump pump will pump their sump.
Get Eco.
That's why we have the $89 sump pump inspection, Jerry. We check your pump, your battery backup, and all the downspout drains to make sure everything is running clear.
If your sump pump has you stumped, don't be a schlump. Get Eco's $89 sump pump inspection.
Get Eco.
Can you even say schlump on the radio?
Okay, how about this? You won't be grumpy if your sump pump is pumpy.
Did you say pumpy?
Sump pump poetry isn't easy, Aaron.
Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and sump pump technicians.
GetEco.com.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I grew up here, and after 25 years of telling this community's stories, this place still means so much to me. When I'm not in the newsroom, I'm usually out supporting the same people and causes I care deeply about. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer, to speak up or lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here from my friends at High Bank Distillery Co. It's well known High Bank is my go-to when I want an award-winning whiskey, but did you also know that they make the best vodka in America? They have 3 incredible spots here in Central Ohio where the food is just as good as what's in the glass. They've got something for everyone, and get this, kids eat half off every Monday, so whether you're sipping on the best vodka in America or simply grabbing a meal with family and friends, High Bank delivers every time. Find a location and a menu at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
The best words to hear at the TSA security checkpoint? You're good to go. All it takes is a little preparation. Get to the airport early, bring a carry-on bag that fits in the overhead, and have an acceptable ID. Not all state-issued IDs will cut it. Check out tsa.gov/ID and see which TSA acceptable IDs make the grade, like a real ID or passport.
Before you jet, do a little prep, and you're good to go. Check out tsa.gov/ID or the MyTSA app.
Of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
Want to know anything about the Fan's contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
We'll get to the Big Ten's insanity in a second, or at least what the Big Ten's proposed.
Yes, proposed insanity.
But Ohio State announced earlier this week that they're going to be doing an Ohio State football coaches clinic on April 16th, April 17th, and April 18th. Now, April 18th is the day of the spring game, noon at Ohio Stadium. For this coaches clinic, you're going to have at least Ryan Day, Arthur Smith, Ohio State's new offensive coordinator, advertised as Matt Patricia.
Yeah, which I like to see.
And so if they're advertising Matt Patricia in Columbus for an Ohio State coaches clinic the day before and the day of the Ohio State spring game, I think it's safe to assume, Tito, safe to put that one end of red yarn on the one part of the cork board that says Matt Patricia staying at Ohio State to be the defensive coordinator. Now, the Raiders still need one. Clint Kubiak, I think, is starting to build his coaching roster in Las Vegas. He was officially announced earlier this week. They all got 5-year deals. Everybody who's a new head coach.
Why not?
Everybody who's with a new team as a head coach in the NFL. I think there were 10 jobs that changed hands. They all get 5-year deals. And so you'd think maybe with Tom Brady and his relationship with Matt Patricia, they spent 20 years together in New England. That would be the place for Patricia to go if you were to leave Columbus. But this release from Ohio State has me confident Patricia will be back coordinating the Buckeye defense in 2026. But also on the poster, probably the biggest name of the four, John Gruden.
Yeah.
And that, I wonder, with John Gruden, every year he's connected to a different job.
Right.
If he just enjoys being John Gruden, bubbly football personality, rather than just getting back into having to actually coach.
Yeah.
And actually having to be beholden to maybe an NFL owner or NFL fans or college football fans or whatever the case may be. He's just in his kind of own right now doing the content football-wise that he wants to do.
And he's done a good job of rehabbing. Is that the right way to put it? Rehabbing his image from why he was.
Certainly, I think he's looked upon more positive.
There we go. Yeah, more favorably.
More favorably than after the debacle with the Las Vegas Raiders as their head coach. Certainly. I also want to see Spider 2 Y Banana in the spring game. Like, if you're going to have Gruden in Columbus,
right?
So the content that they'll be able to produce will probably be awesome. But to have him call plays with Arthur Smith for the Ohio State spring game, because we don't know the format. We think it'll be similar to last year. You'll have offense against defense.
Right. Different points for stops and whatnot. Yeah, different ways to score it.
I think you throw him out there.
Yeah.
Spider 2 Y Banana. Have him mic'd up. Have the fans in attendance. Have the fans on TV able to hear him.
Yes.
Because the spring game should be fun. Yeah. It's an important tradition, and I'm glad Ohio State wasn't one of those schools that chickened out of doing it last year. Because Texas has come out and said they're doing a spring game. They didn't do one last year. Oklahoma, Nebraska, similar spots. Like Nebraska did the Husker games.
Gruden and Stefanski can team up for a class on how to have 5 quarterbacks on their roster and not develop any of them.
That would be where their expertise lies.
Okay, so Reese, what's the benefit of doing a spring game versus doing a late summer game? Like, wait until middle of August and do your spring game then. What's the benefit of doing it?
So from a coach and player standpoint, I don't think there's any difference.
Right, me either.
Because you don't have the spring portal anymore.
Right.
So players after spring, if they're too low on the depth chart relative to where they thought they were going to be going into the spring,
right,
they can't transfer.
They're done.
So unless I guess they just want to. I mean,
right.
There was a defensive back at Wisconsin who just went and played for Miami.
Cool. Yeah.
And then he was actually playing in the national championship game, and nobody did anything about it. So unless that happened, and it probably will, I think it'd probably be better for the coaches and players to do the game like that at the end of the summer.
Right.
But I think because it's been such a long tradition
in
college football to do the spring game, I want it for the fans that have families that can't afford to go to Ohio State games in the fall.
Oh, no, so do I. I want it also that way.
I want it for the welcome to spring that it provides Central Ohio, that it's always provided the fans here.
Okay.
That it's always provided Buckeye fans to say on their calendar, hey, that's something that represents warm weather.
Right.
Right. That's one of many hurdles that you have to clear before you can get to the summer, in my opinion.
And then I guess also the other side of it is too, if there's an injury, God forbid, you've got more time to recover versus if you have an injury on August 15th.
If someone, God forbid, goes down in the late summer.
broke his leg one time as a starting
then they
quarterback.
stopped hitting the quarterbacks until Cardell, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
And then there's that story Tyvis tells where they were like, he's live.
Yeah. Hey, Cardell, you can't hit people. How about that? Because you're so damn big. I think that should be the other rule.
Look, if I'm a defensive back in the spring, I might make business decisions when I've got 12 gauge running at me.
Right, yes.
But I would hope that they keep it in the spring. For the reasons that I outlined for the fans, for what it means to the community, for what it's always meant.
Then also.
I would also just point out that they do scrimmages in the stadium. And they can at any time go and scrimmage in the stadium if they want to.
Yeah.
So in this era where you've got to find new money,
that's what I would do. I would do more than one.
Where you have the spring game,
right,
and then maybe late summer, right before camp, you bring Ohio up from Athens, you bring Miami over from Oxford.
Joint practice,
right? You open it up to the fans, you put it at Ohio Stadium, and then you get a couple of live fire scrimmage reps.
I can't remember what year it was when they did the night game, like a night thing there with an autograph session afterwards. You know what I mean? It might have been like a 5:00 start or something.
Sure.
And then after that, the players, I believe, were up in the concourse area there, and you could get in line and get autographs from all the players that were out there. And You have some had lines a lot longer than others, and people couldn't get every autograph, but do something like that.
I know at the south end zone, they're doing those new box seats.
Right.
And they're doing the wide-ass seats on top of that.
Yeah.
Like, you could sell those at a discount for things like we're mentioning, a spring game or an all-Ohio scrimmage.
Yeah.
Look, you're trying to make new money.
Yep.
Because it's the price is going to go up. Like, I think it was either Pete Thamel or Ross Dellinger who had the reporting that, yes, there is a cap.
Yeah.
But schools are blowing past that cap with collectives and with boosters because that's the price of doing business. It's going up every single season. And
people here can't get enough of football once August hits. Like you could open something up every week at Ohio State. And look, if you charge $5 or $10 a ticket, like you mentioned, and I love the fact about Ohio State that the families that normally don't get to go to games, it's damn expensive to go to an Ohio State football game. Breaking news on that, I know. Damn expensive. And it's if you can give 80,000 people in there at $10 a pop for something, you'll do it. To meet players, see players, get to see things they never get to see, get to sit in seats like the wide ones you talked about they never get to sit in.
Right.
That's a great way to raise additional money.
Yeah, it's experiences that you can't get during the season. It's behind the scenes look at how the sausage is made for the Ohio State program. Those would be the things that they should be leaning into if they're looking for new sources of revenue. Because I think you do reach a point where if you don't have the Mark Cubans, if you don't have the Raising Cane's guy, you're starting to tax your primary donor base.
Right.
So, there's no bad idea at this point, as was showed last year. And I have a ton of respect for the job Ross Bjork's got to do in that. That's why Camp was playing a song at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah.
You got to try there is no bad idea in this. There are just ideas that maybe you do once and then you quickly pivot to. Tony Petiti, you've got a really bad idea. It's probably going to happen. That's next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
I started my first business when I was 12, mowing lawns for about $5 a yard. I learned if you do the job right, people trust you and customers care that you show up and do what you say you're going to do. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Doors. From garage door repairs to upgrades, we show up, we stand behind every job. We only use the best parts, and spring's guaranteed to last a lifetime. When you care about the people you serve, you work harder and it shows. Call Don's Garage Doors today or schedule online at donsgaragedoors.com.
When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more. At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Great Lakes Hyundai wants you to save your refund this tax season with 90 days of no car payments and 0% financing on 26 Hyundai Santa Fe's and Tucsons for up to 60 months. No payments, 90 days, 0%. Keep your tax money in your pocket. Go now for the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, some customers may not qualify. Interest accrues during no payment period. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Offer ends 3/2.
At Babs R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement. As the Midwest's fastest growing 5-star bathroom remodeler, we're more than just transformations. We're a community driven by a mission to bring your dreams to life. Our installation team, part of the Babs R Us community, isn't just skilled. They're dedicated to respecting your home. Each day, they bring craftsmanship and hustle, turning your dream space, no matter the size, into reality. Together, we embrace a culture that values diversity, collaboration, and giving back. From supporting local projects to fostering a workplace where every voice is valued, Babs R Us is more than a company. It's a community of experts. We're also expanding locations to create more possibilities for homeowners across the Midwest. Wherever you are, you'll find us ready to turn your dreams into something you can see, feel, and enjoy every day. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, loans and no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BAB to schedule your free estimate, or go to babsrus.com. Babs R Us, where dreams soak in.
Hey Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL, 614-962-7355, or selltohometeam.com.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Nate Puterwell, their sports update. The only undefeated team in college basketball is from the state of Ohio. Last night, number 23 Miami of Ohio moved to 25-0, knocking off Eric Kreisler's Ohio Bobcats 90-74. In top 10 action in the Big Ten, Wisconsin blew out number 10 Sparty 92-72. The Ohio State men's basketball team is in action tonight. They're in Nashville to take on the number 15 Virginia Cavaliers. They've been set for 8 o'clock. Catch all the action right here on The Fan. In top 25 action day, number 4 Duke hosts number 20 Clemson, and number 14 Florida takes on number 25 Kentucky. We'll have fan coverage of that one at 3. Top 25 action for the OSU women's team tomorrow. The 8th-ranked Buckeyes are at home taking on number 20 Maryland tomorrow afternoon. We'll have coverage on The Fan, too. And out of the Olympics, the USA men's hockey team looks to move to 2-0. They take on Denmark at 3:15 Eastern. Breaking Sports News opens The Fan, Ohio Sports Destination.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
I heard that stray.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Reiser, Tito. You heard Nate there in the update.
Maybe his last update ever.
Putting down my Ohio Bobcats. It was a valiant effort by the green and white last night at Millett Hall in Oxford.
Battle of the Bricks.
Battle of the Bricks went the way of the Miami Redhawks, the 25-0, undefeated, unblemished, unbeaten Miami squad led by Travis Steele, who we had on yesterday at Bishop and Friends. And that's a guy who's going to be in, if it's when, consideration for bigger jobs. That's a guy that you heard from. If you missed the interview, it was tremendous yesterday. So wherever you do your podcasting or even on the YouTube feed of yesterday's Bishop and Friends program, Bob and I were fortunate enough to talk to him for about 15 minutes, and we felt like we could have gone for 45. And he's a guy that they had the look into the locker room before the game last night because it was on ESPN.
Right.
And so it was an incredible opportunity for the first time ever a regular season MAC game to be played on the worldwide leader, the actual ESPN, not just ESPN2 or ESPNU. It's incredible.
With some of the MAC teams they've had and all the college basketball, the rights that the ESPN's had in the games they've aired over the years. I mean, Gary Trent, never.
I don't know.
Zerbiak, never.
I'm trying to think, with Gary Trent, would it have just been ESPN? Because I don't know, it was ESPN 2?
I think 2 was around then. Yes, 2 was around then.
2 had just maybe come to life when he was the Shaq of the MAC?
It might have been,
Certainly when Zerbiak was playing, there was an ESPN 2.
Back when ESPN 2 was doing like the lowercase letters, some uppercase and things like that, and they had Keith Oldman in a leather jacket out there trying to make it hip. Back then, I think that Trent was playing, I believe.
But the incredible opportunity was seized by Miami, 90-74, as again, you heard Nate there in the update. They've got 6 more games left to 31-0. And you're going to have a great amount of conversation about their tournament eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be even greater if they stumble and don't make it 31-0. And they probably need to win the MAC championship to secure themselves a spot. Because and you look at bracketology from everybody, it has that scenario that Miami's got to win, and they're the only representative from the Mid-American Conference. And I think that's stinky, but I'm not naive enough to think that 1999 was the last time they put 2 teams in. They put Kent State, the MAC tournament champion. They put the Miami Redhawks, who are the regular season MAC and MAC East champion. That's how it goes.
I still disagree with you, Reese.
I want to be wrong.
I know.
They are a 2-bid league most seasons.
All right, listen, team. Listen, Reiser. It's a hot take by you. I think that if they lose one game, if they lose in the MAC tournament, regardless of when they lose,
I do think it depends on when, because I think people aren't used to see. I just think the general consensus from the selection committee is MAC 1, Sunbelt 1.
I'm about to take a bunch of crap on the YouTube, but the idea of this Ohio State team getting in over a one-loss Miami of Ohio team is ridiculous.
That can't happen. I can't see it happening.
Well, you're probably going to. You're going to see deserving teams in not the Power Four be bumped by at-large bids like Wisconsin. They moved in.
Right, yeah,
Wisconsin's in the tournament. Now, a one-loss Miami team that doesn't win the Mid-America Conference tournament, I could see them maybe being one of the first four in Dayton.
Okay.
So I guess that counts, right?
And we had the conversation last week about if they do either go undefeated or suffer a regular season loss but still win the MAC.
Yep. They win the MAC, they're in.
Right,
So,
they win the MAC, they're in, yes. But I'm saying, but their seed line, though, you still think it's like
double digits.
And gosh.
If they were to go, 31-0 and then 36-0,
right?
Maybe they can move into the single-digit area.
They wouldn't have to play 5 MAC tournament games, would they?
4.
So it'd be 35.
No, maybe
3. Might be 3.
I'm trying to remember because I know now the Big Ten this year is including all 18 teams in the conference.
There's like a triple bye for the early ones.
What are we doing?
By the way,
all 18 teams need to go from the Big Ten to the conference tournament. I don't need to see Oregon again.
T-Bone hopes Ohio State doesn't make the Big Ten tournament, even though they're supposed to.
That's not what he said. If he meant the NCAA tournament.
All right. I don't know, man. I got to believe. Okay, so then let me ask you this. Let's say Miami has one loss and misses the NCAA tournament.
It's a shame.
Is it a disappointing season?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
34-1, whatever. 33-1. It's a disappointing season.
It's not disappointing. It's disappointing in that you don't get to see a really good Miami team play in the NCAA tournament. That's what's disappointing about it.
Okay, but I'm saying, like, if you're judging Miami's season, it's not a disappointment, right?
I would say it is. And it's not disappointing in that you're mad at the players or you're mad at Coach Steele.
Right.
You're mad at the NCAA tournament committee because that's a snub. That's an all-time snub.
Really,
if it were to happen.
I think any team, because the MAC is not. I mean, you've got like your elite conferences, right? We're power conferences, whatever, and then you've got like the MEAC and things like that. You got lower.
Mm-hmm.
I think the MAC's in between those.
Yeah.
I think they're viewed that way. So I think that's why I think the difference would be, that's why I think Miami would still get in. If it's a MEAC team we're talking about, or a, Sunny, whatever it is, there's SUNY.
Well, let me just do this. Yeah, the State University of New York. I'll do this because Miami played Wright State earlier in the season. The Red Hawks won 83-76. Right now, Wright State's the top team in the Horizon League.
All right.
The selection committee views those two teams similar. And I think that's insane.
Me too.
But that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, me too.
Right? Because right now at Wright State, and Wright State's a damn good team.
They are
11-4 in the conference, 16-10 overall. You look at what the Raiders have done, and it's they've played some teams, and Miami outside of the MAC, hasn't.
Yeah,
and I mean from the Power Four, but an opportunity for Ohio State to steal a bid from a one-loss Miami school if the Buckeyes can get a win tonight against the Virginia Cavaliers.
Not a must-win.
No, not a must-win, but a
must
would
compete.
Be so great. They're all must compete.
Yeah, they are must compete. You're right.
And every game against a team, I think they've got Wisconsin up next after the game against Virginia.
So damn on fire. Yeah.
I don't know. We're running out of chances for ranked wins here.
We got a quad 1 win without playing.
Yeah. That helps.
The Northwestern one, it's a quad 1 win all of a sudden. But they've got winnable games. I know. I don't think every game's a must-win game, but they've got to win the ones they're supposed to win. That's for sure.
Certainly, yeah. February 17th, Ohio State's going to be hosting Wisconsin.
All right.
So that's the next up for the Buckeyes. Yeah. I think they've got to win all of the games. Like, they've got to win the Wisconsin, Iowa, Penn State, Indiana.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
4 more.
Michigan State and Purdue, if you can pull an upset, pending you don't beat Virginia tonight.
So 4-3 the rest of the way is the likely record for them.
I think anything less than that puts them they're going to be bubblicious the rest of the way. I think it's huge. Earlier this week, you heard Jake Diebler say that Brandon Knoll, they expect to have him back by season's end. He's not playing today against the Virginia Cavaliers. If they can keep Puff Johnson eligible and healthy,
right?
I think he provides them great depth and experience off the bench. I think this team cannot afford a lull.
So 4-3 the rest of the way for them. They go 4-3. That puts them at 20-11. Is that correct?
Yes.
20-11.
Say it with confidence, and I'll agree with you.
Yes, 20-11. My glasses were failing me on that one. The standing thing, I can't get the angle on the monitor the way I need it.
Oh, okay.
That's just.
I'll help you in the break with that then.
I appreciate that. 20-11 going into the Big Ten tournament, and then a 1-1 finish there gets you at 21-12. I gotta believe it gets them in.
I think so, and I think it's also important. You've got Iowa and Indiana part of that run,
right? At Iowa. Here against Indiana, yes.
Those are other teams that have similar conference records, that have similar overall records, that you're competing for a bid. Because this isn't going to be like last year where I think the Big Ten got 8 bids. Yeah. This isn't going to be that. The Big Ten's really good, but probably not 8 bid good.
Oh, I think they're 10 bid good this year.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I think 10 teams going for the Big Ten this year. I do.
Well, that's really good news then for Ohio State fans.
Well, as long as you're not 11th. Yes.
They're floating in that realm right now. Again, coverage on the Fan at 7 o'clock. Tip-off against Virginia at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville is set for 8 p.m. So earlier this week, ESPN got a hold of a document circulating amongst Big Ten decision makers from Big Ten boss Tony Patini. It lays out a 24-team college football playoff, what it would look like. It includes the elimination of conference championship games, the 23+1 selection model, an additional weekend of on-campus CFP home games.
Like it?
Yeah, I think I'm okay with it. Because I've already come to terms with they're going to expand things past 16. Like, it's still going to stay 12 this season, but what the Big Ten is also looking for is to move to 16 starting in 2027, and then in 2028. And then you get to 24 by 2029.
Okay, so are you more in favor of 16 with conference championship games or 24 with no conference championship games?
16 with.
See, I'm more in favor of 24 without.
Well, I really, really hate the idea of a conference championship game now.
Yeah.
You know, I think if you're going to be expanding all of this, then just those need to go away.
Right. Any expansion, I wish they get rid of it. Yes. It doesn't.
The regular season conference champion,
yes.
You can
All
hang
you
that
need.
banner.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine for me.
Yeah.
And this would, a 24-team college football playoff, Tito, would be 6 second-round games on campus, 4 quarterfinals at traditional bowl locations on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. That would be followed by semifinal games at bowl sites and a national title game, which would be played around mid-January. If they're going to do that and have the title tilt in mid-January, you're looking at 26 and 27 seasons played at the end of January. This 24-teamer has the title game in mid-January.
Love it.
So then we're moving back the calendar in August.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
You're going to have to.
Yeah.
Because I don't think in the college football playoff with their 26 and 27 scheduling shows they're not trying to go up against the NFL.
Yeah.
This does a little bit of avoiding NFL postseason. So you get more eyeballs on your product, but your product gets diluted if you're adding more teams.
If you're going to 24, this whole we can't schedule Power 4 teams because of our record thing needs to go away.
Yeah, if that would be I'm not sure if it'd be the byproduct of it or not. I know that that's the narrative, and like people are saying that the reason Alabama might bail out of Ohio State's home and home with them is because they're adding the conference game, don't need something else like, they need to move things around, don't need to have that not Texas. If we wouldn't have played Ohio State, would have been in the playoff last year because we would have played some scrub school and beat them. I think that's all easy to say when there's not another option right now.
You don't think Cirque's right, though, in that argument? I think he is.
You think he's right from, why do it?
Why do it?
No,
from their standpoint.
I understand.
I think it's chicken bleep.
So do I.
But if you look at the Big Ten, remember the trifecta?
Right, yeah.
Those 3 national champions didn't have a marquee Power 4 game on their schedule out of conference. Michigan didn't. Ohio State didn't. Indiana didn't.
Sure.
Indiana ejected Virginia.
Right, yeah. Virginia's too tough.
And they won the national championship.
Right.
So while, again, I think it's chicken bleep.
Yeah.
It's likely the path we're headed down. We'll discuss more on that next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Cash, moolah, greenbacks dough, Skrilla chips, bread and mo. 2, 5, 10, and 20, 30 big ones, games aplenty. Cheddar, butter, loot and scratch, find the letters, make a match, cause there's many words for cash, no doubt, many ways to play cash word. Check them out. Cash word from Ohio Lottery. It's game time, yo. Cash word, it's fun to go with millions in prizes, don't you know? Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Hey, Columbus, big news. For a limited time, get Uber One free for a full year so you could save on food and rides. That's a $96 value on us. Just use code Columbus. Get 1 year of $0 delivery fees, 10% off eligible food and grocery orders, and up to 6% Uber One credits on rides. Sign up for this limited time offer today using code Columbus and save big with Uber One. Offer valid through 3/31/26. Savings and $0 delivery fee on eligible orders and rides only. Fees and terms apply. See app for details.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble with Chip Wood.
Our owner?
Free oil changes along with alignment?
On any 4-tire purchase.
And Michelin's up to $100 off?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. And what do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Michelin's and save up to $100 more. See store for details.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like nuclear reactor safety expert.
I disabled the backup cooling system. It was making such an annoying noise. You heard it, right? It was like,
We're on the countdown to core failure.
And you're saying we don't want that?
This is your time for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free. Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free. Really?
Really? Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9th. Restrictions apply.
Wildlife around the globe needs help. And when you help protect them, you become a friend of the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance.
Thank you for being a friend.
Travel down the road and back again.
Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
Thank you for helping protect wildlife around the globe. Without you, there's no them. Learn more at sdzwa.org/friend.
What can ADP do for small business? We help answer the business questions, like how do you track employee time? How do you do payroll taxes? Or what does compliance even mean? So small businesses can focus on bigger questions. Now florists can ask, can we invent another holiday to sell bouquets? Pizza shops can ask, how do we stuff a calzone into a pizza crust? And pool cleaners can ask, what is that thing in the filter? These are the questions you can focus on when ADP takes care of the business of your small business. ADP for small business.
Below freezing? Fire up the grill at Billiards Plus. The grilling season never ends. While you're grill shopping, you'll love browsing Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
With aging parents, you want to keep an eye on their finances without coming off like you're taking over their lives. With Huntington Bank, you can help protect your loved one's account right from your own. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies are expected here for your Saturday with high temperatures up into the 50s here for this afternoon. Now we are expecting more cloud cover coming in here for this afternoon into tonight as some rain showers will arrive after midnight here into our Sunday morning. Not expecting much rain and mostly south of I-70 here for your Sunday. High temperatures are into the upper 40s here on Sunday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination. Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Happy Valentine's Day. Reiser, Tito, Nate rolling with you until noon. In about 10 minutes, we'll go out. The Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline will wrangle Tyler Danburg of the Ohio State Sports Network. And then about an hour from now, we'll be on the horn with Kevin McGuff. He's the head coach of your Ohio State women's basketball team. The 8th-ranked Buckeyes, I should say, are at
their home
tomorrow, hosting Maryland, the 20th-ranked Terrapins in a game you can hear right here on the Fan with coverage at 2 p.m. So McGuff looking for win number 503 on the career. This was a surprise, I think, for many, and how good this team is with the schedule that they had. Because you talked about that TCU game on Martin Luther King Day against the 10th-ranked Horned Frogs, but they had played number 1 UConn.
Mm-hmm.
They got UCLA in conference. Those Iowa, are the 3 losses, and then Iowa, who I think was 10th at the time.
Yeah.
But an impressive job with the youth that they've got on the team. And how I thought the thought was old wins in college basketball.
It's McGuff, if you look at his track record, and there has been more turnover, obviously, in all basketball in recent years versus years before that. McGuff's teams, he always finds a way because of his system. And I'm not saying he's a system coach, they're system players, but the way that he constructs the team, and I love hearing him talk about this, it's because it changed. Like you had Cody McMahon last year. Cody McMahon, one of the top players in the country who transferred out. You had to replace that. And there's been times where he's had, I think, less talent top to bottom, or less talent at the top. I said less top talent, and still does those teams are almost better than when he has elite talent, if that makes sense.
Does. And Cody McMahon now at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I think playing really well for the Rebs.
She is, yeah.
And you'd wondered, with all of these teams, you have portal attrition like that. Yeah. How do you rebound from that? And so far, so good
pun, by the way,
for
you.
the McGuff. Thank
well
you.
Done, yeah.
For McGuff and his squad. But again, he'll join us coming up at 11:17. I am a fan of what McGuff did this season in the ambitious scheduling by the basketball Buckeyes. I am a fan of whenever you have a team that you want to see, all right, how good are we? You go out of conference and you test it against the best. And so we've talked about this for a couple of weeks because it's going to be a discussion until it's not. When was Paul Feinbaum? I think we had brought it up with him about the Ohio State-Alabama series.
Yeah.
And 2027, they're here. The Crimson Tide are. 2028, the Buckeyes are in Tuscaloosa. Now, he thinks...
Was it 30-31 Georgia?
29-30.
29-30, it's home Georgia, okay.
I think it's Athens first, Columbus second.
Okay.
He thinks that Georgia series likely to happen, the series against Alabama not likely to happen. And it coincides with the SEC going to 9 conference games, thinking to themselves, well, we don't need anything else. We got 9 conference games, we got a conference championship game, and then an expanded college football playoff. We're good in testing ourselves out of conference. I hate that thinking. But you heard it from Steve Sarkisian this season. You've heard it from Kirby Smart. Yeah. Because Kalen DeBoer's his seat will probably never get cool until he wins a national championship.
Yeah.
Which is a wild thing to think that, Alabama fans kind of wanted them to lose that game against Oklahoma so that you could have the discussion about firing DeBoer. Wild.
Is that a ridiculous?
Wild to me.
Ridiculous take?
You would not root for your team.
I'm just checking.
In the post, you would not root for your team that you normally root for to make it into the postseason and then to win games in the postseason. The idea of this is winning games.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And so you're a fan, right?
I would think.
So you're rooting for your team. So I'm not heard anything from Ohio State's side because Ohio State hasn't heard anything. I think Ohio State is moving forward as that game's happening.
Right.
In 2027, which I'm a fan of. And then 2028, we don't know. But the proximity in terms of the calendar with that would make it, I think, very difficult for Alabama to get out of it. Because you would have to, with their agreement that they've signed as a conference, find a Power 4 opponent. And in short order, that would be difficult because you couldn't just go snag Tulsa. You'd have to get a team from the Big Ten, the ACC, the SEC.
Yes, you'd have to find what you'd have to do, Reese, is find a lesser Power 4 game going on that day and say, hey, we'll each take one of your opponents at our place. You get a bigger payday.
That would be the funniest thing for Alabama to do is just go out and get Purdue.
Yeah, right.
And then replace that series.
Right.
Like Alabama would have the audacity to, instead of going to Columbus, go to West Lafayette for a game. Yeah. Like, well, we're doing home at home. It's against Power 4.
Right. Hey, well,
fulfills contractual obligations.
Never played there before.
They'd play at Alabama and then do a neutral site game when they have to go to Purdue. Because that's what Alabama does.
Yeah. Both of those likely. So I'm thrilled to hear that there hasn't been a whole lot of movement on that. You probably won't expect any because Alabama's been busy trying to make sure their men's basketball team can stay eligible and
trying to recruit
college
NBA players.
Football. Well, look, a lot of people are doing it.
Popeye Jones has eligibility.
So does LeBron James.
Yes, he does.
You see him the other night with a triple-double in Ohio State sneakers.
Yeah.
I just look to LeBron and I go, if you want to support Ohio State, I'm glad you're doing it on the court, but maybe throw a couple of dollars the way of the Buckeyes.
If you really, right.
How much do you love Ohio State? LeBron?
Right. Do you love them?
Love. It's
Right,
like, this is we like Ohio State.
Right.
Let's test your love on Valentine's Day. I don't know if LeBron's participating in anything with the All-Star today. I think he's in the All-Star the All-Star 3-team tournament tomorrow, but they're not doing anything with the dunk contest or the skills competition.
Right.
Like LeBron doesn't need to do any of that nonsense. I have no interest in the NBA's All-Star format. I know that they were the lead-in last night to Battle of the Bricks, and they were presenting a trophy for the Celebrity All-Star game to a guy I'd never heard of.
Right, yeah, that's always a fun part, yeah.
And they kept creeping into like 908, 99, 910.
Right.
I'm like,
let's go.
We're not here for this. Like we're not here for your All-Star festivities because it took till Thursday till I actually looked into seeing where they were playing the All-Star game at and what the All-Star game format is tomorrow.
Does it make you feel older when you look at these, when you see the celebrity rosters?
No.
Okay, it makes me feel older. I don't recognize anybody except like Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Like Shams Charania was part of it too.
Key or Peel, whichever one it is. Key was in it.
Keegan-Michael Key, yeah.
He was in it. And then Keenan Allen and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yeah, those are the ones that I recognize. I feel the same way I feel when I see the Oscar nominations come out. That that movie? I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that actress. I've never heard of that actor.
And I don't know necessarily an age thing, but I think it's just that there's so much more out there now that commands our attention.
Right.
That I don't watch a whole lot of movies. I'm more of a shows guy. Or now with what Netflix does, they release like a season that's just got like 5 hour-and-a-half episodes.
Right, yeah.
And that's not a movie, but it's not really a show because it's not weekly episodic.
Sure,
Here's just this special that we've got. And Bob and I were talking about, when you look at some of these like celebrity things nowadays, celebrity means is such a different meaning now because you've got guys who just sit in front of their computer and stream. Well, it'd be like watching me on YouTube talking into this mic. But hundreds of thousands, millions of people are watching people do this.
Right.
Like these Twitch streamers, these Kick streamers, those are celebrity. That's what counts for celebrity.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, big difference.
So I don't necessarily think it's an age thing. So don't worry yourself too much about that.
What? Sorry, go ahead.
The phrasing celebrity could mean something different. Yeah. We'll have a celebrity on here in a couple of minutes, Tyler Danburg. I'm going to start with this question. So I'm going to have you prepared to have the discussion about a safety for the Cleveland Browns at pick overall 6. But it's not just any safety. You'll hear from Tyler Danburg next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Great Lakes Hyundai wants you to save your refund this tax season with 90 days of no car payments and 0% financing on 26 Hyundai Santa Fe's and Tucsons for up to 60 months. No payments, 90 days, 0%. Keep your tax money in your pocket. Go now for the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With proof credit, some customers may not qualify. Interest accrues during no payment period. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Offer ends 3/2.
This radio station is more than 100 years old. And during that time, absolutely no one has hosted hosted more shows than the common man. I don't know why we're bragging about that, but I just read the copy, okay? And then there's Timmy. What can I say about good old Timmy? Well, he's a heck of a guy. All right, let's cut the bull. Common Man and Timmy host a show that'll make you laugh at immature things, overreact to whatever's going on in the world of sports, and probably embarrass themselves in the process. And we love them for it. Common Man and Timmy. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on The Fan.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
For a great Valentine's Day dinner, choose USDA Choice Bone-In Ribeye Steaks. Just $9.99 a pound in the value pack with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Come into your local AAA Tire and Auto Service for a full synthetic oil change for just $74.99. Plus, earn $7 toward your next service with Duramax dollars. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Offer ends February 28th. See store for details.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan. Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, you are. Reiser and Tito and Nate rolling with you on a balmy, 40, almost 50-degree Saturday, the middle of February. We're going to get hotter and go out now to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Bring on great friend of the program, Tyler Danburg, who will be on the call tomorrow right here on the Fan of Ohio State and Maryland, the 8th-ranked Kevin McGuff-led basketball Buckeyes. Have that game at 2 o'clock, coverage right here on the Fan, 145. Tyler, I'm going to start by giving you control of an NFL roster.
There we go.
Which Buckeye would you take? You get, doesn't matter the part of the draft, but you have an NFL roster you've got to build. You've got 11 Buckeyes invited to the scouting combine. Which of those are you picking first to begin your roster build?
Oh, great to be with you guys. That is a heck of a question. And I think as a Browns fan, with the way that the Browns are at right now, if you're just taking the best player available, I think that Buckeye coming into the draft, I think it's Caleb Downs. I mean, from an IQ standpoint, football standpoint, people are talking about the size and the safety position, is that a guy that you can go and try and nab, top 5, top 10? I think Caleb Downs, if you're gonna take one Buckeye, I think just from an IQ, from a play standpoint, I mean, you look at the Miami tape, and he just was all over the field. He's a couple of bounces of the football away from single-handedly changing that game. From a personality standpoint, from a player standpoint, I mean, Caleb Downs is that guy, in my opinion.
We're going to have Kevin McGuff on here in the next hour talking about the game with Ohio State coming up against Maryland on Sunday over there at the Shot. And as you've watched this Ohio State team continue to pile up wins, and we know about the 3 losses, but are you seeing things with this Ohio State team that makes you think that if they had a game with Connecticut today, it could be a different outcome?
I think it would be a different outcome just because that was game 3, and after 25 games now, this team, it's not unrecognizable when you look at the first couple games of the year, but if you compare game 3 with game 25 against Oregon, I mean, it's 2 entirely different teams. And it's been really special, Tito, to see how this team has improved every single game. And they've had to win in many different ways. There have been times where they've had to shoot the lights out, like that game against Maryland back in mid-January. They shot over 50% from 3. Since then, they've been 5th in the country in three-point percentage. They've won with that typical full-court press, wear you out, like you call it, 40 minutes of hell type of basketball. That's their brand, that's their identity, but they've won in many different ways. There have been stretches where they've had 10 to 20-point leads, and then the opponent has been able to cut it down to single digits, and then they've been able to just use that brand of basketball and pull away and win pretty commandingly. So, I think that we're going to learn a lot about this team in these final 5 games. They have the toughest remaining schedule in the Big Ten, all of their last 5 opponents are top 20 net teams. So if they can find a way to navigate through it, I think it's going to simulate what the NCAA tournament can look like, especially what the last 4 games of the NCAA tournament will look like.
Tyler Danburg, our guest from the Ohio State Sports Network. He does sidelines for the men's football team and then play-by-play for the women's basketball team. We had some conversation about conference expansion, conference realignment earlier in the program, Tyler, and you were out on the West Coast last week for Ohio State games against Oregon and Washington, and that I do think is good. It's good preparation for what the NCAA tournament might ask of you, where you're having to go all over the country. You're going to have to adjust your body clock for whatever the NCAA and their selection committee has you or requests of you to make a run to the Final Four and to the national championship. But from a conference standpoint, do you get the sense that they're still trying to figure out, Kevin McGuff as a coaching staff and even some of these players, how to adjust going out to Oregon and to Washington and doing these as part of Big Ten conference play?
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's ever changing, especially now that they've been able to have 2 years of it. One where they go to UCLA and USC, and obviously the proximity between those two schools is a little bit different than Eugene, Oregon, and Seattle, Washington. And I think the biggest takeaway from just talking to Coach McGuff over those couple days out there is the downtime. You know, there was no question that they were going to be ready for the games, but downtime was going to be one question mark, just because, you know, you have so much time in between those games. So, you know, it comes down to study table and when players are getting their coursework done. Are they getting time to go around and see a little bit, which I think is really important. You know, some of the players went to the Pike Place Market, and I think Saini Henry, who's on the team, caught a fish from the market. So, you know, different things like that I think is really good for morale that you get out of those West Coast trips. But then, you know, you got to lock in as well. What I think, you know, going into the Oregon game, after staying the night after the game on Thursday against Washington, the team stayed in Seattle that Thursday night, then flew in Friday morning and then went right into it. You know, after getting off the plane in Eugene, it was straight into lift. Then it was practice, and then practice again on Saturday. And Kevin liked the way that they responded to that. And I think that really translated into the way that they played on Sunday, because they led for 39 of 40 minutes in that game and won against a really good team in Oregon by 16 points.
Is there a player on this team you look at and say, you know, like, this is the kind of person who this player could be like, it used to be for Ohio State, there was a young lady named Ricky Harris, who was kind of like, didn't put up great stats, but always came in and made an impact in the game, came off the bench and made a difference, even though it didn't show up, like I say, in the box score. Is there somebody on this team or somebody you think on this team could emerge in these next 5 games in the postseason and play a big role that hasn't necessarily played a huge role to this point?
Absolutely. Well, I'll start off with Ava Watson, because she's really been crucial to this team's success. She started the last 6 games. She's averaging nearly double figures in those games, shooting well from 3, really good handling the ball and assisting the basketball, but she makes a big impact beyond the stat sheet. She came into the starting spot as the de facto 6th player because Kylie Kitts was out, and you've got 2 forwards in the starting lineup in Kitts and Levila, and then all of a sudden you go back to 4 guards in the starting lineup. And it was at a really crucial point where no Kylie Kitts, who's your leading rebounder, and you're trying to figure out who is it that's going to be able to step up. Well, Ava Watson has the same energy coming off the bench that she does in the starting lineup. And, you know, she had a big emphasis coming into the year. She wanted to be a pest defensively, and she is exactly that. She never takes a play off. Now, her numbers are really strong for her role, you know, over 7 points a game, over 2.5 assists per game, top 10 of the conference in steals, but she just never takes a play off. And she's been one of the players that the coaching staff has been able to rely on to handle the top assignment on the defensive side side of the ball, she's been going up against some of the top point guards in the country since she took on one of the great point guards in the game in Olivia Miles back in January. She's been kind of that top assignment from a defensive standpoint these last 7 or 8 games. And, you know, there are a couple plays that she makes where she just doesn't give up on the basketball, just like her teammate Kennedy Cambridge. And I think those two are infectious on the defensive side of the ball, and that translates to the offensive side of the ball. So I think that fans are going to get to grow even more accustomed to the name Ava Watson over the final 5 games of the regular season, then hopefully into the postseason.
The 8th-ranked Ohio State women's basketball team looks to make it 5 straight, hosting Maryland, the 20th-ranked Terrapins, tomorrow at 2 o'clock in a game you can hear right here on The Fan. Tyler Danburg, our guest, will have the coverage at 1:45. Again, right here on The Fan, first time this season for Kevin McGuff's squad. Tyler, thanks so much for the time today. Enjoy the call tomorrow. We look forward to talking with you as we get closer to the madness of March.
Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of the day.
He comes to us courtesy of the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. So you have the Buckeyes for the women's side in town tomorrow. You've got the Ohio State men's squad. They're in Nashville taking on number 15 Virginia tonight. Adam Jardy had a great piece on why. The title is, Why is Ohio State men's hoops playing Virginia amid Big Ten schedule? It really comes down to they just money.
Yeah, it's a money thing.
And I get it. I don't love it because I think at this time of the year, you just want to be Big Ten. Big Ten play, Big Ten schedule. Yeah. But this does give Ohio State, for the men's side, for Jake Diebler, an opportunity for a second Quad 1 win. And I had thought maybe 7 Big Ten teams from the men's side would be eligible. I mean, I think you're going to get 9 or 10 on the women's side into the big dance. But you had Joe Lenardi saying 11.
He had 10 for the Big Ten and 11 for the SEC. I've seen him have 11 for the Big Ten earlier this year.
I figured the SEC would probably lead the way in terms of bids for the men's big dance, but that gives me a little more hope.
Yeah.
That if Joe Lenardi thinks that highly of the Big Ten, then Ohio State's got a better chance, even regardless of what happens tonight. But I still think you want to go out and win.
Yeah.
Because that's another Quad 1 win. They got it became a Quad 1 win.
Yes.
Their win against Northwestern back in the beginning of December, I think it was. It was such a long time ago, it feels like, but that turned into a Quad 1 win. You're going to have to explain to me like I'm 5. We might get television's Jacob Reimer on to explain to me like I'm 5 how a game can become a Quad 1 win. But for Virginia, a no doubt Quad 1 opportunity for Jake Diebler tonight. I want to get your thoughts on what should be done with Caleb Downs in the NFL draft if you were the Cleveland Browns. That's next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
We're hiring at Don's Garage Doors. No experience? No problem. We provide full training, a brand new van, top-of-the-line tools, a gas card, and steady jobs with weekly pay. This isn't just a job. It's a career with real growth, great pay, and job security. Our team members go from training to 6 figures, and we're ready to help you do the same. Don't wait. Apply now at donsgaragedoors.com.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here. You've heard me talk about High Bank's award-winning spirits, but let's talk about the food. High Bank delivers incredible meals and handcrafted cocktails in a space that works for every part of your week. Start with happy hour, drinks with friends, come back for brunch worth planning your weekend around, then stay for dinner. And get this, kids eat half off every Monday. Great food, award-winning drinks, a reason to come back time and time again. Make a reservation today at a location near you at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Germain Honda of Dublin cares about your vehicle and your time, and they do that with same-day service with no appointment necessary. Sell them your vehicle at their buying center and get paid as soon as the same day. Shop great lease and finance offers on all the Honda favorites, like the Passport, the Odyssey, and the redesigned Pilot. Service it, sell it, or drive something new. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, or online at germainhondaofdublin.com.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron, with Valentine's Day coming up, there's something I've been meaning to ask you.
Jerry, you're not gonna, open up to me about anything, are you?
Oh, no. We're good.
I mean, I love you like a brother, buddy. I just...
Get Eco.
I was just wondering if we were going to do anything for our customers this Valentine's Day to show them how much we care.
Right.
And with February being a little chilly still, maybe we can help them turn up the heat in the bedroom.
Say what now?
You know, if things are feeling a little chilly, we can help you crank up the heat.
Jerry, if you mean repair a struggling furnace or heat pump, we can totally do that. And if you wake up with no heat, we have crews standing by who can be there the day you call.
Great, that's what I meant. Wait, what else would I have meant by turn up the heat in the bedroom?
Your innocence is downright charming, Jerry.
Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
It's a new year. Ready for a fresh start or career reboot? At My Computer Career, prep for a more recession-resistant future in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, in months, not years, including AI. Whether you're starting out or switching careers, no prior training is needed. Attend school online from home or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu to take the free career evaluation today. mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
While serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. Today, I'm a sculptor. Now, my fingers are my eyes. I'm Michael Naranjo. As a veteran, I know the challenges of life can be great. In my art, turning a lump of clay into something beautiful, that is worth doing. Life is like that. We each must use what we can to make things better.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
Now, I show others how they can create something with their own hands. I know it can do a lot of good. With support from DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Michael Naranjo, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. We firmly believe it's appropriate to tailgate before a youth soccer game. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
So not this Monday, but next Monday, the 23rd, begins the NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis. You got 11 Buckeyes that'll be headed to Indy looking to increase or maintain their draft position. And I say maintain because I don't necessarily know if there's anything Arvell Reese or Caleb Downs or Carnell Tate can do in Indianapolis that would do anything to their draft stock.
They would have to fail something miserably to change.
Maybe bad medicals.
Yeah, but
would preclude a team from.
That's what they can do. But say, as far as what they can control,
sure,
they would have to just like, you know, you mentioned about the brothers coaching or half brothers. They'd have to go step brothers mode in the interviews.
Even then, like a Carnell Tate or a Caleb Downs,
they show up in tuxedos and.
They would have to show up and streak through the convention center or streak through Lucas Oil Stadium during their workouts.
Yeah.
Because the chatter that I've seen with especially Caleb Downs through this pre-draft cycle is this is the best prospect we've had in a while and maybe the best safety prospect, as Albert Breer put it, or Dane Brugler, I should say, put it, ever. I mean, Breer said, I feel comfortable saying Caleb Downs is the best football player in the 2026 draft class. He won't be the first pick. You have to consider upside, positional value, all that. But there are guys with more of all of that stuff, but no one in the class is a better football player.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, he's the best football player, why wouldn't you take him? If you are a team like the Las Vegas Raiders and you need great football players, what would stop you from drafting that? If he's a better football player than Fernando Mendoza that would need no coaching, that would need no development, that he, maybe even Carnell, could step on the field tomorrow and contribute valuable reps to an NFL team, what would stop you?
Okay, so it's part of the NFL, the history of the NFL and the way they've always do. Yes, quarterback is having a quarterback that is competent makes a huge difference in your success. The quarterback impacts the game probably more, I would say, more than any other player. I think most people would agree with that when I say probably. Most people would agree with that. So you look at like, oh, number one picks. Yeah, like who number, well, let's see, Peyton Manning was the number one pick. You know what I mean? Like these guys, you look at the number one picks that have done well. Granted, some have not done so well. But the Super Bowl, you can win a Super Bowl with a not number one overall pick quarterback.
Have the last two, 59 and 60, prove that point.
Yes. And now you need to have a good quarterback. There's no doubt about it.
You need to have great quarterback play to get you through the season.
Yes.
Like I do push back on this as hard as I can that you don't need to have great quarterback play, that you can do it with a Trent Dilfer. Gone are those days. Long gone are those days.
Yeah. We now know you do it with Sam Darnold.
He had back-to-back 4,000-yard throwing seasons.
I know what I'm saysaying, though, but, Trent Dilfer is like the poster child of that, like, bad quarterback or mediocre quarterback who, even like Kerry Collins, very bad quarterback who got to a Super Bowl. Tony Eason, bad quarterback. You can get to the Super Bowl, but I'm saying, like, the way the Seahawks won this year the way they won the Super Bowl was not because of Sam Darnold.
No.
And that's why I would think.
But him playing the way he did got you there.
Yes.
Right? With Jackson Smith-Njigba winning Offensive Player of the Year, his quarterback was a big reason because of it. Now, JSN is a tremendous player and certainly deserving of that award and MVP consideration.
Right.
But Sam Darnold helps.
I just think the smart thing for the Raiders to do, if the Raiders have knowledge, if the Raiders have insight that Mendoza's going to go one, whoever's there, okay, and Reese is going to go two, then I would trade down and try to get more picks and then grab Caleb Downs.
Yeah, I'm with the Browns at 6.
Yeah.
I've maintained and I still maintain Carnell Tate because you just need a wide receiver more so than any other position, in my opinion. I mean, you obviously need a quarterback, but the drafting isn't going to be the place for this Browns team right now.
Right.
But if they got Downs at 6, I'd be just as thrilled, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And the one thing I've been hearing this week is from Cleveland, where it's, I think, Browns fans talking themselves into a quick turnaround because of what you saw in the last 2 Super Bowls with a dominant defense and what they would consider good quarterback play. I'll push back. It's been great quarterback play from Jalen Hurts last year and from Sam Darnold this year. The Browns do not have a quarterback right now capable of that. And I don't know if Malik Willis or Mac Jones, Pro Bowl quarterback, Shedeur Sanders. You're right. You're right. It's a bad job out of me, but they do not have that kind of quarterback play available to them.
Fair.
And I don't know if there's that kind of caliber of quarterback play available in the free agent market. That will become available.
It's going to be a risk on that because Malik Willis, right?
I don't think they can afford him.
They might not be able to.
They're still paying the Watson thing. And even when they jettison Watson in 2026 or after the 2026 season, it was like March of 2027 is when everybody expected to happen.
Yeah.
He's still going to count like $86 million against the cap.
Right. Wise investment.
Worst in league history.
Yeah.
But the more I think about it, the more I would be okay with whatever they did at 6, so long it was Carnell Tate or Caleb Downs.
I think either one of those are much better.
And don't trade out of it. There's so much talent available for you there. Don't get too caught up on having draft capital. You need draft capital doesn't win you football games.
Yeah.
Elite football players do. And those two are elite. And for the Downs thing, Dane Brugler said that he was the best safety prospect ever. Now, Kyle Hamilton, I remember being called that too. And look how it's done for the Ravens. Now, it's 2 different sizes, 2 different safeties. But, man, would Downs be able to turn around a defense pretty quickly? Especially if you were the Raiders and you got Downs, maybe that conversation's a little easier with Max Crosby.
Doesn't it feel like Downs is a culture changer as well?
Yeah.
I'm not saying Tate wouldn't be, but I think out of the guys, like, look, if if you want to buy into Mendoza, and I'm not saying buy in, I shouldn't put it that way. It sounds I'm being disrespectful. If you believe in what Downs can bring you as far as his attitude, his his ability to motivate people, that's okay. But outside of Mendoza, though, I don't know if there's more of a culture changer than Caleb Downs.
Just playing devil's advocate, is the gap between Downs and the next best safety bigger than Mendoza and this really bad quarterback class?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, second for quarterbacks is Alabama, Ty Simpson.
Yeah, Ty Simpson's the next one on the list.
And so I just think this is the year for quarterbacks. Like, you don't do it. You don't do it in the NFL draft. You take Mendoza, but you understand with Fernando that there's going to be there's going to need to be a year where he's not good.
Yeah.
And we're too impatient with quarterbacks. So I do think like the Raiders probably take him number one. If you're saying, Eric, pick who's going number one, I'm saying Mendoza's going number one to the Raiders. But I think that's a silly thing to do. I think that would be foolish just because you need that position filled. Like I tried to do this take 10 years ago with Peyton Manning when he was noodle arming the Broncos into the Super Bowl, that you don't need a great quarterback in the NFL. And then I realized that's a silly take. And I think that's a silly take. And so teams are always going to look at that position as with greater emphasis because of how important I think that it is. Mm-hmm. But Caleb does it for me so much so I can push back because of how great I think Caleb's going to be at the next level.
It is so important to make sure you have the right coaching staff and culture in place when you take a quarterback that high. And what I mean by that is you've got to have, because we've seen great quarterbacks go to shaky situations and fail. Look at Darnold before this year.
Yeah.
With his situation with the Jets. We see it with Justin Fields, right? We saw it with him. That guy still is damn talented. I don't care what he says. He's damn talented. He'll never get a regular starting job in the NFL, but he's damn talented. But part of that also is what he walked into. And so if you've got a situation where your offensive line is weak and your coaching staff you're unsure if it's the right one, you better not start him from week one, but I know you will. Mendoza will be the starter week one. I'm not sure if it's best for Mendoza or the Raiders.
I think he'll start week one for the Raiders.
I think he will. That's Mark Davis for you, man. Unless Brady gets in his ear.
So that's where I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I mean, I want all of these guys to succeed coming out of college because you break quarterbacks so quickly and so much more frequently than you do make a quarterback better in the NFL because the royal we is just bad at doing this.
Yeah.
And I hope that wouldn't be the case for Fernando because I have great respect for what he's been able to do at Indiana. But yeah, I think you're right. And that's kind of a shame. Is the NFL going to open? You talk about the week one of the 2026 season on Wednesday? We'll discuss that next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvis are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
Common Man here for Worthington Jewelers. I'm with the boss, Bob Capace, and his boss, Teresa Capace. Bob, Valentine's Day's around the corner. Did you get something for the lovely Mrs. Capace?
We're not doing presents for each other this year.
Since when?
Uh-oh, Bobby. Sounds like you're in the doghouse.
Don't make the same mistake I made. Let Worthington Jewelers get your special someone the best Valentine's surprise.
Worthington Jewelers, located on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com.
Where Columbus gets engaged.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
My advisor at Plant Moran Wealth Management knows my definition of wealthy. Rescue animals. Everywhere. So my husband and I bought property and opened a sanctuary. It's our happy place. And from the sound of it, it's their happy place too.
You have your own personal definition of wealthy. Plant Moran Wealth Management knows it takes a personal approach to get you there. Experience the difference with Plant Moran Wealth Management. Book a consultation today.
I'm Jay Plyburn, anchor at 10 TV News This Morning. Not long ago, my wife Whitney and I packed up a camper van, hit the road, and spent months exploring national parks and small-town farmers markets, having the adventure of a lifetime. Now my goal is to help you start your day feeling informed and ready for what's ahead. From the impact of state and local decisions to breaking news from Dublin to Delaware, we've got you covered. Because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Nate Puderwell, their sports update. The only undefeated team in college basketball is from the state of Ohio. Last night, number 23 Miami of Ohio moved to 25-0, knocking off the Ohio Bobcats 90-74. In top 10 action in the Big Ten, Wisconsin blew out number 10 Sparty 92-72. The Ohio State men's basketball team is in action tonight. They're in Nashville to take on the number 15 Virginia Cavaliers. Tip is set for 8 o'clock. Catch all the action right here on The Fan. In top 25 action day, number 4 Duke hosts number 20 Clemson, and number 14 Florida takes on number 25 Kentucky. We'll have fan coverage of that one at 3. Top 25 action for the OSU women's team tomorrow. The 8th-ranked Buckeyes are at home taking on number 20 Maryland tomorrow afternoon. We'll have coverage on The Fan, too. And out at the Olympics, the USA men's hockey team looks to move to 2-0. They take on Denmark at 3:15 Eastern. Breaking Sports News opens The Fan, Ohio Sports Destination.
Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Yeah, pretty elite day of college basketball. A less than elite show today. I think, we're Marconi eligible. Tito.
Marconi eligible, yes. Yeah. Do they do local radio Emmys?
No.
Okay.
No, I believe Emmy's just television.
Well, okay.
Marconi is what we strive for. Marconi eligible is what we strive to do radio-wise every single day.
So do we have local Marconi awards then?
No.
Okay.
I think it'd be like mid-market radio is what we are.
You guys got ranked
to be. Yeah, we're in top 10.
Yeah.
How about that?
Congratulations.
Much to do with our fans than anything else. Because certainly, and it's not this show. The Saturday Spectacular is the number 1 mid-market Saturday sports show
in Central Ohio,
as ranked by Eric Reiser and Jeff Thidoff.
That's fine.
It's fine. It is. Fine. What we're doing is fine. And I guess I'll say with, you heard Nate there in the update and how Miami's now 25-0. And when probably they go 31-0 in the regular season.
Okay.
I don't see them losing a game. They will probably make a run in the MAC tournament, and they'll probably make the NCAA tournament. Travis Steele, their head coach, was on College Game Day this morning, and they asked him, the men's swimming team shows up to games at Millett Hall in Speedos. They had Speedos and the race caps. What do you call the swim? Just swimming caps?
Swim cap. It's swim cap, yeah.
Speedos, swim caps, and goggles.
That's how they showed up.
That's how they show up to the games.
Good for them.
And this started maybe a month ago, I want to say, but they were in attendance last night for Miami taking down my beloved Ohio Bobcats. But they, on College Game Day, got Travis Steele to agree to wear a Speedo for Miami on Selection Sunday. And they had the cameras
when they do
at
that.
Everybody's facilities.
He agreed to do it?
They put it to him. He said, done. It's pretty special.
Well,
what Miami's doing.
You got to feel pretty confident in the way you look, too. Like, Huggins wouldn't do it.
Oh, I'm not so sure. Huggy Bear in the earlier years, because Travis Steele's still a young guy. He's one of those coaches kind of in the Dusty May vein, where you look, it's his 4th season in Oxford, maybe in 1 or 2 more seasons with similar success. Now, they're not going 31-0 ever again. They still have plenty to do to get to that this season. It's probably going to be elevated to another job. I mean, this is kind of John Gross level of, I succeeded at Ohio, I'm going to get a shot at Illinois.
Right now, would Pitino do it?
Yes.
You think Pitino
I think
now?
Pitino right now would do it. I think John Calipari right now would do it. If they were undefeated right now, and I guess I mean John Calipari at UMass.
No, I'm talking right now, today.
No.
Today, Pitino at St. John's.
Their current 8. Maybe to Pitino at St. John's. Maybe. Pitino's always kind of that wild card.
Cronin, UCLA, would he?
No. But Cronin's a curmudgeon. He just hates everything. You got to be the right kind of person to do it.
Would Diebler?
Yes.
Would Matt Painter?
Yes.
Boy, I tell you, you've got a lot. I don't see either of those guys doing it.
I see Jake Diebler doing it. Now, the great day of college hoops does culminate tonight in Nashville with Ohio State and Virginia. The 15th-ranked Cavaliers are the favorite in this. They're playing at Bridgestone Arena because
why not?
They like doing these non-conference things. In February, they cut Ohio State a check, and you need money. So I totally get why they would want to do this, and you need new money, and this is that. Buckeyes have a quad 1 win.
Thank you.
December win against Northwestern was elevated.
Yeah.
So this is another opportunity, I should say, for the Buckeyes to get a quad 1 win and a quality resume point to make the big dance. And that should be the goal. And everybody who roots for Ohio State should root for Ohio State to make the NCAA tournament.
I'll make one more question. So should we root for Ohio State and root for the teams that Ohio State's beaten?
Yes.
I think yes on both counts.
You want more quad 1 wins to suddenly appear.
Give me another one. Yes.
You need these things.
Right.
Because if the Big Ten truly, to be believed, is getting in 10 teams
to
the big dance, Ohio State's right now on the bubble of that.
They're 11th.
And Ohio State's going to be bubblicious for the next month. So every little thing helps.
Gotta win today.
I want Bruce Thornton so bad to play in the tournament.
Me too.
I want for Junie Mobley. I want for Devin Roy. I want for all of those guys.
Yes. And I want for future recruiting classes to see Ohio State play in the NCAA tournament.
Because what happens is if you lose today and you're not able to beat Wisconsin, and just the apathy continues to creep in, right? Where people are mad at Ohio State student section for not consistently showing up and providing the kind of student atmospheres that are at other Big Ten schools. I just point back because the winning isn't there.
That's why.
And so there's apathy with the student body. There's apathy with the fan base that you'll never get with football. And the apathy that is right now there for this Ohio State men's basketball team, you can start to counter, but you have to win. And you have to make the NCAA tournament. And it can't just be after this year. I'm going to speak it into existence like the good millennial that I am. The Buckeyes are making the big dance.
Yes.
Then the expectations must be next year you advance to the second weekend. You have to run headfirst into high expectations. You have to embrace those here. That's what Ohio State does at every single level, at every single sport.
All right. I will do a minor pushback on you on that one.
Okay.
From the standpoint of, yes, I'm with you. I think they make the tournament this year. So we'll speak into existence.
Right.
You're the millennial.
Yes.
I'm older.
Yes.
I'm just senile.
You can feel like a millennial.
Okay.
You can give off those vibes with the positivity.
Maybe
it's a stretch.
That's fine. The second part of it, though, I'm not ready to say that they would have to advance to the second weekend next year from a standpoint of like the way it grows, only because of how much turnover there will be. Different football. Football, yes, we expect that in football. In football, it's always reload, but you also have, just on the very basic part, 22 positions where you're going to lose players have to replace. This is 5 in a lot of cases, maybe 6. And so you're talking about next year, unless Thornton somehow, they decide he was a fifth-year freshman and he gets more time. Thornton's gone.
You can find a judge in Franklin County to argue it.
Oh, I'm sure. Yes.
Yeah.
So Thornton's gone. And we're not sure. I don't know. Does Tilly have more years? Does Noel have more years? I don't know on those. I'm saying I think one of them's a fifth-year senior. Maybe both of them are. I know at least one of them is. I think
Noel is.
Noel's a fifth-year senior. Okay. And not that he's done a lot this year. We still have to replace that.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know who else is going to be leaving.
Tilly's got 1 too.
Okay. And so there's roles you're going to have to fill, and Thornton's is a big role to fill. So I'm not ready to say, like, hey, if they make it this year, next year's got to be make it and advance the second weekend. But I just know, looking at it, this year's basketball team is better than last year's basketball team. And so that, to me, is progress enough to continue at Diebler, regardless to make the tournament this year or not. But they're going to make it.
They're going to make it.
Yeah.
Starts tonight. Well, it didn't start, but this is another quad one victory that they will get, damn it.
Yes.
8 o'clock on Fox. You can hear coverage on the Fan at 7. We'll have Kevin McGuff on here in about 10 minutes. His team's getting ready to host Maryland, as you heard Nate there in the update, tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Tyler Danburg, who had on the last hour of the program, he's going to be on the Fan tomorrow with coverage starting at 1:45. So big opportunity for the basketball Buckeyes on both fronts there, but a great day of college hoops. Yeah, 4 Duke, 20 Clemson, and then Kansas, Iowa State. I haven't seen anything on Darren Peterson.
No, I've seen two things on Darren Peterson.
He's going to play. But have you seen, like, real things?
Yeah, real thing.
Because you have to be careful on social media because, somebody from an account did say that he was going to be hanging it up for the rest of the season, right? As he prepares for the NBA. Like, he's going number 1 overall. Like, I do think the Jaren Jackson stuff out of Utah is a little in the vein of, we're not going to win now, get the surgery. Because I do think Jaren Jackson's dealing with a knee issue, but I think they've encouraged him to get the procedure done now, get it out of the way. We will continue to tank. They are tanking. The Utah Jazz are one of several teams tanking. Lauri Markkanen's not playing in the fourth quarter of many games in the hopes that you can land one of these spectacular freshmen, because this draft's going to be loaded. Darren Peterson at the top of it.
Yesterday, Bill Self said that Darren Peterson's good to go against Iowa State.
It's always TBD with that.
It was on ESPN, but ESPN had that on the report. But as far as the tanking in the NBA, look, as long as you reward teams for tanking, it's not, you can't change it.
I do wonder if they have, the NBA, the ability to compile enough evidence against a team. You do the draft lottery, but when your ping pong ball comes out at number 1, if Adam Silver doesn't take the ping pong ball and smash it and say no, do it, embarrass the team on national television. Oh my God, the Utah Jazz just won the number 1 overall pick. They're getting Darren Peterson to add with Jaren Jackson and Lauri Markkanen, 2 All-Stars.
Right.
That's a hell of a team right away.
Yeah,
and then the commissioner takes the ball and smashes it. Says, no, you don't get a first-round pick anymore. That might be the only thing they can do to push back against that kind of tanking, because it does reward teams so quickly. Now, some of these teams that have gotten them a pick are just stupid, and you kind of can't help that stupidity. But
I mean, for years they used to do a coin flip.
Yeah.
The worst team from the East, worst team versus the West, coin flip, one of them gets 1, one gets 2.
I like the randomness of it, certainly, because it doesn't guarantee worst team 1 pick, worst team first pick. But the teams are increasing their tanking because the odds are so random.
The first lottery was everyone had 1 envelope. That was it. That's when Ewing went to the Knicks. There were the 8 envelopes or 9, whatever it was, in a drum. Next one was a little chillier from what I hear. But nonetheless, it was every team had equal chance at that point.
Yeah, if you can prove that a team tanked, then you should be able to say, then you don't get your draft pick. You don't get your luck. If it's a lottery pick, you don't get it. If it comes outside of the lottery, fine. Here, you can pick whoever.
Then I would do what I do in my fantasy football league. And the team that has the best record that missed the playoffs, they get the number 1 pick.
I'd be okay with that.
And then work it back that way.
The play-in loser.
Play-in loser.
2 play-in losers get
the number 1 pick.
Get put in
1, 2. A drum, yes. Do the lottery that way. Yes.
Four play-in teams on each conference. Yep. The play-in losers, they get their ping pong balls put in a drum. You roll that out.
Yep.
Give it to the Miami Heat.
I'd be fine with that.
With it.
Yeah, you'd get teams competing to the end.
Because the load management thing from this week with Peterson and not playing against Arizona. Now, Arizona came into the week with Miami of Ohio with a perfect record.
Yeah.
Then Arizona went to the Fog Allen Fieldhouse and lost. And they lost without Darren. They lost to Kansas without Darren Peterson.
Right.
Who I guess that afternoon
flu-like or something.
I'm not feeling great.
Yeah.
And if it is to be believed, there's a video that went around of an ESPN. And the thing about the video is, so it's of an ESPN scorer texting about the discussion that Self reportedly had with Peterson. And Self said, if you're not going to play, just sit on the effing bench.
Right.
And that's only really Bill Self can get away with doing that, because
Yeah.
He's got the track record. He's one of only a couple bona fides to say to the absolute first overall pick, one and doneer, fine, bleep off. And then we'll go out and beat Arizona. If you can get away with that. But then, Kansas's one of their athletic directors retweeted it and said, we're conducting an internal investigation. So you add validity to that discussion because you're an official Kansas employee. They said they're conducting an internal review. I'm like, well, if he's an ESPN employee, how are you conducting an internal review?
Right.
So the whole thing's just filled with drama, and I only say that to buttress my point of only Bill Self can manage all of this.
That's fair.
Now, again, we'll look in the break, but you said that Self said
yesterday.
Self said
to
Aaron
ESPN.
Peterson, good to go for the Jayhawks as they are at Iowa State today at 1 o'clock. Ohio State women's basketball, the 8th-ranked Buckeyes, 22-3, 11-2 in Big Ten play. Have a big one tomorrow against Maryland. The head coach of your Buckeyes, Kevin McGuff, joins us next at Sports Saturday on The Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Men, the new year is here. And if you're like many of us, you're ready to improve your health. But if you're feeling low energy, not sleeping well, or not seeing results in the gym, keeping that resolution can be tough. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if those symptoms sound familiar, we can likely help. They often point to low testosterone, and treating low T is what we do. But this year, we're also helping men go further with 4 targeted body composition plans featuring growth hormone peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, and more. Designed to boost energy, support metabolism, enhance recovery, and accelerate fat loss. With our low T treatments combined with our body composition programs, most men notice real improvements. More energy, better focus, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and often a renewed sex drive as well. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or visit tristatemenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like nuclear reactor safety expert.
I disabled the backup cooling system. It was making such an annoying noise. You heard it, right? It was like,
We're on the countdown to core failure.
And you're saying we don't want that?
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free. Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free. Really?
Really. Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9th. Restrictions apply.
Hello, friends. There's a special place on your radio. A place where the beer flows like wine. A place where dogs frolic and random movie quotes invade your brain. That place is Rothman and Ice, voted the #1 midday show in America in 2024. We won't talk about what happened last year. It certainly has nothing to do with Cole producing the show. Do they talk Buckeyes? Of course they do. Do they chat with Hall of Famers on the regular? Yes. Will they obsess over their fantasy football teams to the point both of them need therapy? You betcha. Rothman and Ice, weekdays from noon to 3. Thank you, The Fan.
Enough already.
We can do more.
Enough already. We can find a cure.
Enough already.
We can do better for our kids.
Enough already. We are relying on you.
We can come together to support Children's Cancer Research Fund, a national nonprofit dedicated to ending childhood cancer that is on the front line of breakthroughs. Because
it's enough already.
Go to childrenscancer.org today.
Moolah, greenbacks dough, Skrilla chips, bread and mo. 2, 5, 10 and 20, 30 big ones, games aplenty. Cheddar, butter, lewd and scratch, find the letters. Make a match, cause there's many words for cash. No doubt, many ways to play cash word. Check 'em out. Cash word from Ohio Lottery. It's game time, yo. Cash word, it's fun to go with millions in prizes, don't you know?
Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay. How about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
It's truck season at Germain Toyota, and the deals are about as tough as the trucks. Get into a new 2026 Toyota Tundra with 299% financing for up to 72 months plus $1,000 in Toyota Financial Services finance cash, or at least a 2026 Tacoma SR5 for just $289 a month for 39 months, 10,000 miles per year, and $36.99 due at signing. Power, reliability, and offers that work as hard as you do. Visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or check them out online at germaintoyota.net.
Join the Fan weeknights at 6 for the Buckeye Show. And if you're asking if it's just a bunch of homers rooting for all things Ohio State, yes it is. Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies are expected here for your Saturday, with high temperatures up into the 50s here for this afternoon. Now we are expecting more cloud cover coming in here for this afternoon into tonight, as some rain showers will arrive after midnight here into our Sunday morning. Not expecting much rain and mostly south of I-70 here for your Sunday. High temperatures are into the upper 40s here on Sunday, and that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on the Buckeye Show. New special guests in everything scarlet and gray, the Fan. Instead of annoying national people talking to you this weekend, we've opted for annoying local people. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, we did. Yes, it is. Reiser and Tito walking with you into an insanely good weekend of college basketball, not just here on the Fan, but nationally. And
it's a Reimer weekend.
A really special opportunity tonight for the basketball Buckeyes in Nashville, and a great opportunity tomorrow for the 8th-ranked Ohio State women's basketball team, looking to make it 5 in a row, hosting number 20 Maryland in a game you can hear right here on the Fan. Tyler Danburg's going to have the call with coverage Sunday at 1:45, and we go out now to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline and bring on the head coach of the basketball Buckeyes, Kevin McGuff, who celebrated career wins 500 and 501 last week in the Pacific Northwest. Coach, congratulations on that milestone. And does having a week off like you guys have had give you some time to reflect and appreciate all 500 career wins? And as a coaching staff, as a team, what do you guys try to focus on when you have kind of a lull like this in February?
Yeah, well, I think the break came at a good time, just because the trip to the Pacific Northwest was obviously very productive with 2 wins, so we were happy to get those W's. But also, it's a long trip, and so we were out there almost a week, and so it was good to come back and not have a game on Thursday. And what we focused on, we took a day off Monday, then Tuesday, Wednesday, we practiced and tried to kind of just shore up some things relative to ourselves and just get a little bit better without any thought to preparation for our next opponent, since we didn't have one on Thursday. And then we took Thursday off and got back in the gym Friday, and we're about to head to practice here in about 15 minutes, where we will, continue our preparation for tomorrow's game versus Maryland.
So, Kevin, I've always respected the fact you've got your style of play. You recruit players for your style of play, and you have success playing that way. How often has it happened, or does it happen, that you think to yourself, you say, I like this player, I want to recruit this player because this player would fit this mold, and then you meet with the player and say, you know what, I was wrong about this. This player would not fit into our system.
Well, it happens, but it's less probably about the on-court system and more about just the culture in the locker room and fitting our program and our community at large. Those would be the bigger things that would, we can take most players and fit them into our system. But sometimes if somebody's not a fit from another standpoint, then that would probably be the biggest thing that would kind of turn us off.
Coach, your roles are kind of reversed tomorrow, where the first meeting between Maryland and Ohio State, the Terrapins were a top 10 team, and you guys were, I think, ranked 19th. Tomorrow, you guys are the 8th ranked team hosting a team within the top 20. Is there anything when you have games like this that you take from the first meeting, or do you look at it as it's been, about a month since that game happened? So much between these two teams may or may not have changed, injuries, what have you. But do you look back on that at all in the preparation for tomorrow?
Yeah, it's a good point, and you mentioned it. Maryland has had an interesting season because they started out the year red hot, and they were playing great. And then they had a couple injuries, and they didn't play quite as well. And and they lost a few games, and they kind of dropped in the rankings for that reason. But now they've played really well lately. And they've had a huge win at Michigan State, which is a hard place to win. And they won at USC. And so they're back to playing more like a top 10 team than even a top 20 or 25 team. So we know we'll have our hands full tomorrow because they're playing really well right now. And, we certainly will look at the film because even though they've changed their personnel around a little bit, a lot of the actions that they're running, the things they're doing, the way they're scoring are similar. And they've actually, ironically, they've really figured it out because one of the things they've had to do is at times play a little bit smaller. I think it's made them more dangerous offensively and a little bit harder to guard, even though they've had some people get hurt who were playing a lot for them. So anyways, they're playing great basketball right now. We know we're going to have to play really well to be successful tomorrow.
You mentioned they're playing smaller. Does a team playing smaller or a team playing bigger present more difficult matchups for you?
Well, they both can, really, because, we didn't play very well against Iowa, who played much bigger with two post players, and that was a really hard game for us. We didn't play well. But sometimes the smaller can really create spacing problems defensively. And against our full court press, people who play smaller tend to have more ball. People who can handle the ball and make plays and can make plays at the end of the press if we don't you kind of slow them down or turn them over. So they both present challenges in different ways, and both present areas where we have to be really good in our preparation if we want to be successful.
Kevin McGuff is our guest. His basketball Buckeyes are going for their 5th straight win tomorrow, hosting number 20 Maryland in a game you could hear right here on The Fan. Coach, I noticed with the two games out west, the one against Washington and then the one against Oregon, kind of the differences in how you, I don't know if utilized the bench would be the right way to phrase that, but is that more of a how the game's going in the moment, or we kind of go into a game with the plan of, all right, we're going to need our depth here, or we're going to use less depth and just kind of keep our core 5 out for more minutes? How does that work for you?
Yeah, something, I think more game to game and game time decisions. Sometimes who's playing well factors in, obviously. Foul trouble factors in. We have been without Kylie Kitts for a few weeks here. And then Oregon was her first game back, and we got her just a few minutes, I think 7 or 8. Or 6 or 7, something like that. And so we're kind of working her back into the rotation, which I think long-term will be very helpful. She wasn't quite ready to be herself on last Sunday versus Oregon. But first time we played Maryland, she played really well in that game, was very instrumental in the victory. So yeah, to answer your question, it's kind of like game time decisions on who's playing well and what the foul trouble looks like and so forth.
Kevin, the Big Ten tournament, first of all, I know you're looking forward to the Big Ten tournament because you got 5 easy games, right? You just overlook these past 5 games, or next 5 games, right? Nothing tough. Right. So you probably got on the Big Ten tournament. Is it tougher as a coach? In the Big Ten tournament, you've got teams you're familiar with, but you're playing, hopefully, back-to-back-to-back games kind of thing. Is it tougher doing that, or is it tougher, say, hosting the first round of the NCAA tournament where you get a day off between games?
Yeah, I mean, they're both tough. I like the one thing about the Big Ten tournament, at least it's usually somebody you've seen before. You're familiar with their actions, how they play. Your players are familiar with the personnel. So sometimes for a quick turnaround, at least you're familiar. And, the NCAA tournament, it's usually somebody you haven't seen. And even though you do get a day in between, that's helpful. But I also think, I don't know, our style is a little harder to play back to back to back against. So I think that plays in our favor. And although we have to be able to do it from a conditioning standpoint, I kind of would rather hang my hat on that than giving other people more rest to prepare for us.
Kevin McGuff is our guest. His basketball Buckeyes are in action tomorrow, taking on Maryland. 2 o'clock, the tip at the Schottenstein Center. We'll have fan coverage starting at 1:45. Coach, best of luck for tomorrow. Continued success along the way, because when you think of March, you think of the madness, but you also think of spring. So getting warmer is always something nice. We appreciate the time today, bud.
Thanks, fellas.
That was Kevin McGuff. 5-0. Let's do it. Next 5 games. Wins.
Comes to us courtesy of the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Yeah, we got some exciting opportunities for them right here on the Fan, because they're on the Fan too, which is 1460 on the AM dial. So it's always special when you can get kind of 2 days of the basketball Buckeyes right here on the flagship.
Yeah.
So again, best of luck to McGuff and his Buckeyes. Best of luck to Jake Diebler and the basketball Buckeyes as they are in Nashville, taking on Virginia tonight at 8. Fan pregame coverage starts at 7 o'clock. The excuse went from it wasn't baseball, it was rooster fights on Facebook. Is that a good plan, Emmanuel Clase? We'll discuss next. Sports Saturday on the Fan.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Retirement Group. We can help ensure you'll have a reliable income stream in retirement, locking in gains and avoiding downturns in the market. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
What's up, everybody? This is Jeremy Birmingham Berm from the Austin and Berm Show here on 97.1 The Fan. I hit maintenance after dropping 35 pounds on Awaken 180, and I'm not going to pretend that I don't feel different, because this is the first time in a long time I've actually reached a goal that I set for my physical health instead of just talking about one, thanks to Awaken 180. I'm under 200 pounds for the first time in 25 years, and that's not a small thing. I didn't have to muscle my way there either. The Awaken 180 coaches walked me through it. Every adjustment, every tweak. They made it simple. Honestly, it was easier than I expected. This now feels like momentum. I'm in maintenance mode, and I'm not guessing. I can have pizza. I can have ice cream. All the things I used to love are back on my menu, but my metabolism is firing on all cylinders. The difference is my body doesn't crave it all the time. It was a mindset change and not a Band-Aid. That's the part that changes everything. If you've been circling the same goal for years, maybe you don't need more willpower. Maybe what you need is what I had, a plan, a coach, and a system that makes it easy. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Matty Ice is currently bathing himself in creamy jalapeno dip. And I've officially run out of ways to tease this show. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
All right, so it wasn't quite Emmanuel Clase that is making the claim, no, it wasn't baseball I was betting on. It was rooster fights on Facebook.
Yes.
Before we get to that, I do want to give another thanks to Kevin McGuff for giving us some of his time before his team goes to practice today. You got the 8th-ranked Ohio State women's basketball team taking on Maryland tomorrow, and a really cool opportunity awaits both teams coming out of the weekend. You know, for this Ohio State women's squad to jump back, to continue with Big Ten play on this winning streak, and then for Jake Diebler's squad and getting a win tonight against Virginia, jumping back into to Big Ten play. Really looking forward to a month from now. And you're playing your best ball, you can make some magic happen in March. And I say that only to try to speak us out of February, because I'm tired of this. And I was thinking about this on Friday when taking the trash out and it's 20 degrees and sunny. I'm like, it's not too bad out.
Right.
You know you've been in it. You know you've been abused by Mother Nature when it's, again, 20 degrees and sunny. You're like, this is fine. I can go out in a sweatshirt. It's like, wait a minute.
As you're saying this, up on the left screen there is Pebble Beach going on, which is an absolutely beautiful part of the country. And it's my wife wants to go. My wife was born in San Diego. She wants to go back there and live. I'm not going to tell you what San Diego means, what the actual phrasing means of it. But Ron Berger can tell you that.
Okay.
But nonetheless, so it is and I look at that, but I truly I love the changing of the seasons. I'm okay being bitter cold and stupid hot. I'm okay because we get spring, we get fall. I'm okay. I'm okay with everything here.
What if I told you today is going to be 52?
Yeah.
We're at 44 right now. This is per 10 weather impact forecast.
I'm so glad you quoted our station.
Monday, 55 and sunny.
Okay.
55 on Tuesday, 62 on Wednesday, 64 and mostly sunny on Thursday.
That's great.
Is this the false spring?
Yeah, it's a false spring.
Is that what we're into right now?
Look, I remember in April one year when I was in school still, we got like 8 inches of snow in one day in April.
So I guess if you've got any ire, take it out on the 10 weather impact forecast meteorologists.
Dude, we had Garfalo on.
Did you talk to Meredith before? Fern was the winter storm?
Yes, it was that way. Yeah. So before that hit, we had her on. It was on Fan Sports Saturday, with me and Austin Moore doing that time. You took another day off, which I
was in Florida, avoiding all of this.
Whatever it is. Anyway, and we had her on, and I asked her if she gets mocked, if she gets like if I come out and say, for instance, if I come out and say Ohio State men's basketball make the Sweet 16 this year, which I didn't say. I said they have the potential to, but if I said they're going to make it, and they didn't, if somebody sees me out and about, they might say something about it. I said, do people ever taunt you? Yeah, 3 inches of snow, whatever, that kind of thing. They'll never do that to her. And she said, not necessarily, but she certainly feels eyeballs on her.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure, I'm sure, that comes with that.
Yeah.
Knowing that this was years ago, and it was like Kentucky was playing North Carolina in an NCAA. It might have been either a regional final.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been a regional semifinal, I think that the game was. And Jeff Booth was on because there was a severe thunderstorm. And there was, I think, tornado warnings, and I think there were funnel clouds spotted. And so I think the FCC mandates that if that happens in your area, you have to go to the coverage.
Right.
Like if the weather's severe enough, you've got to go to coverage of that. And again, Kentucky's playing North Carolina.
Right.
And so CBS was showing Jeff Booth, just trying to give the weather, understanding that we have to do this because of
how dare you?
His mentions.
Right. How dare you?
Boy, were they brutal.
I'm watching in my basement. I don't need to hear anything else from you. I'm good.
He's just doing his job, everybody. I remember Dave Holmes said something to me one time about their Jeopardy coverage.
Yeah.
And if they've got to break in for a sporting event or whatever has to take away from Jeopardy, they get crushed with phone calls into the station. Be like, "Where's Jeopardy?
Why can't we opt out of it?"
It's a good question.
Can we
I have no idea.
I got to believe there's a way we could say we could opt out of weather alerts.
Oh no! If we're on public airwaves, it's part of the licensing agreement with the FCC.
I'm saying as a consumer, as a consumer.
Well, that's what you get streamers for.
Okay, I'm saying
streaming service.
When Newman tried to cancel his mail, or when Kramer tried to cancel the mail with Newman, he tried to opt out of mail.
Wasn't it? It's a different time, man.
All right, I'm just saying.
Now you can in that instance, you could now unsubscribe from emails you don't want. But you didn't have the kind of email technology back then when Newman was your postal worker.
I would like to believe, I am smart enough to know, in the winter months, every single freaking day, there's a winter weather advisory. In the summer, every day, there's a summer weather. Why? Because it's that season. I'm smart enough. If I hear rain hitting my roof and see high winds, I hear a siren go off in my neighborhood, I know, hey, don't cut in on my North Carolina-Kentucky game. I know what's going on.
Okay, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah,
there's a great many people that still don't know Wednesdays at noon what that thing is. What is that noise I am hearing? A great many people. It's the tornado siren.
You think there's adults that still...
It's a test.
...would go there if they hear that siren on a Wednesday and go sit in the hallway with their head between their legs like we had to do in school?
No, they just continue to operate as usual because they don't know what's going on.
Right, which means we don't need to butt in.
On Monday, I believe this was the federal case against Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz, soon-to-be former Guardians pitchers. I do think Emmanuel Clase's counsel or his legal representation is arguing that they should have the federal case against them work around his training to return to a Major League Baseball roster.
That's what they should do.
But Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz are not playing baseball in MLB ever again.
Yeah.
They might play overseas. They might play back in the Dominican.
Yes.
Probably play professionally somewhere in the world. They're not playing on an MLB roster, and they're certainly not playing for the Cleveland Guardians again. But filings that were unsealed Monday, legal filings, Ortiz's representation asks a federal judge to sever the case, make it a case, United States against Luis Ortiz, United States against Emmanuel Clase, so as to be able to say that Ortiz was a victim of Emmanuel Clase's scheme rather than a knowing and willing participant. Federal prosecutors have indicated Ortiz and Clase could face a wide disparity in the number of pitches they are each accused of rigging. Clase's attorney says that there's already been identified at least or in excess of 250 pitches. Ortiz is just 2 per the federal indictment. So yes, that's a wide disparity there. It also, the documents unsealed say that during a game in which Clase has alleged to tip pitches, was on the phone with a bettor for about 2 minutes before he went out for a relief appearance. That bettor reportedly told the feds that it wasn't baseball they were discussing. Quote, at times, I watched these legal rooster fights on Facebook and placed bets on which rooster would win. The bettor says, quote, at times, I paid money to people associated with Emmanuel in the Dominican Republic who run his rooster operation, either to cover bets or expenses related to the roosters. This money was only related to rooster fighting and had nothing to do with gambling or baseball, end quote. And so he's arguing that, well, we were on the phone, we were just talking about the roosters, not his upcoming plate appearance.
Not his upcoming, in a couple of minutes coming to the game, yes.
Appearance. No,
of course
this
not.
is rooster fighting on Facebook.
It's important.
This week I learned that there's a dark part of Facebook that shows rooster fighting in the Dominican Republic. And I asked Mark Zuckerberg, what are you doing about this?
Right. Why?
Why is this allowed?
I know there's a wide disparity in the numbers, the 240 and the 2, whatever the numbers were.
It almost doesn't matter.
It doesn't. I don't think it does matter. If you did it once, that's what it matters. Right? I mean,
right. It only takes one.
Yeah.
It only takes one time where you took money and rigged a pitch. Now, the indictment against Clase says that he was paid to coordinate Ortiz's involvement in the scheme. So there is an avenue that Ortiz's representatives can go down and say, he's just a pawn in this. But I don't think it matters.
No.
You did this. There's more than one pitch. One pitch is enough. It's 2. Really bad.
Yeah.
Now, 200 plus for
240, whatever it was, 250.
And you think you're pitching in the major leagues again, bud?
Yeah, there's no way.
Boy, it's...
Hope that rooster fighting pays off.
I appreciate the ambition. Yeah, Rusty's like, isn't it called something else? Yes. I'm not going to say what else it's called on the air. Google it. Or maybe go to Facebook with it, because apparently they're showing these things.
Don't Urban Dictionary, though, because you might get a different description.
Yeah, probably.
You might.
I haven't been on Urban Dictionary in a minute. Don't use Urban Dictionary on a work computer.
Tell me about it.
You shouldn't.
Now
I can only imagine what your
your
search history is over in the other studio. I'd mentioned to Bob, we reach across the aisle to pull him in for Bishop and Friends yesterday. I guess we reach across the aisle and pull you in for every Saturday spectacular. Really a spectacular Saturday for not just college basketball. You've also got some Olympic action we'll get into. And Rory McIlroy, he has a really tough go at things at Pebble Beach. Give some credit to the NFL. We'll tell you what he said next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Over 90,000 5-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage doors is what we do. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here from my friends at High Bank Distillery Co. It's well known High Bank is my go-to when I want an award-winning whiskey, but did you also know that they make the best vodka in America? They have 3 incredible spots here in Central Ohio where the food is just as good as what's in the glass. They've got something for everyone, and get this, kids eat half off every Monday, so whether you're sipping on the best vodka in America or simply grabbing a meal with family and friends, High Bank delivers every time. Find a location and a menu at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Columbus, you hungry? Good thing Uber Eats has a great deal waiting for you at Old Bag of Nails. From now until March 31st, get a buy one, get one free deal on burgers on the app. Order now, only on Uber Eats. Terms apply. See app for details.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I grew up here, and after 25 years of telling this community's stories, this place still means so much to me. When I'm not in the newsroom, I'm usually out supporting the same people and causes I care deeply about. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer, to speak up or lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
Great Lakes Hyundai wants you to save your refund this tax season with 90 days of no car payments and 0% financing on 26 Hyundai Santa Fe's and Tucsons for up to 60 months. No payments, 90 days, 0%. Keep your tax money in your pocket. Go now for the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With proof credit, some customers may not qualify. Interest accrues during no payment period. New Hyundais come equipped with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Offer ends 3/2.
Below freezing? Fire up the grill at Billiards Plus. The grilling season never ends. While you're grill shopping, you'll love browsing Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family owned and operated.
Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
It's really been amazing, the amount of people that I've had contact me, and the talk is generally centered around QC Kinetics, and whether it's a knee, whether it's a back, a hip, shoulder.
He's always happy to talk about how QC Kinetics all-natural regenerative treatments finally gave him relief without surgery. That's former pro football player Bobby Carpenter.
My message to them is do not wait and push off a week, a month, whatever it is. So if you want to feel better this summer, now would be the time to get in. If you want to feel better in the fall, make sure that you're getting in here so you can go out and play golf and do the things that you love and enjoy.
Spoken by a man who experienced relief firsthand. QC Kinetics gave this former pro athlete back his mobility, his activity, and they'll do the same for you.
Has really helped me in just my general quality of life.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
At Babs R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement. As the Midwest's fastest growing 5-star bathroom remodeler, we're more than just transformations. We're a community driven by a mission to bring your dreams to life. Our installation team, part of the Babs R Us community, isn't just skilled. They're dedicated to respecting your home. Each day, they bring craftsmanship and hustle, turning your dream space, no matter the size, into reality. Together, we embrace a culture that values diversity, collaboration, and giving back. From supporting local projects to fostering a workplace where every voice is valued. Babs R Us is more than a company. It's a community of experts. We're also expanding locations to create more possibilities for homeowners across the Midwest. Wherever you are, you'll find us ready to turn your dreams into something you can see, feel, and enjoy every day. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BAB to schedule your free estimate or go to babsrus.com. Babs R Us, where dreams soak in.
Join our resident gambling degenerates, Steve Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money. Sunday mornings at 9.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
The Fan.
Want to know anything about the Fan's contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Tito, there's a chance I might have made it seem in that tease that Rory was bumming it at
That's
Pebble
what it
Beach.
sounded like. When you said
Did
that, it did sound like he was not. He's doing okay.
He's tied for 17th.
Yeah.
He's at 9 under. So that's 6 strokes off the lead. Akshay Bhatia leads at 15 under. Ricky Fowler, Sam Burns are at 14 under. Minwoo Lee 12. Sepp Straka at 12. So it's not out the realm that he could make a run today or tomorrow.
Yes.
So I guess I apologize to McElroy, who again is only 6 shots off of the league. He begins his first round an hour from now, or his third round an hour from now. His first shot in the third round an hour from now. But before this week's Pebble Beach Pro-Am, McElroy, who's the second-ranked golfer in the world, was asked what he thought about Super Bowl 60. So it's what? Pebble Beach is 90 minutes, 2 hours south
around
of San Jose.
Yes. Yeah.
He's asked, what do you think of the Super Bowl? Because we're here kind of in the same, everybody likes to say the Bay Area is when you don't know
England.
From California. It's right. It's just big old chunk of the country. From Rory about the NFL quote, I've tried really hard with football, like really hard. I appreciated the Super Bowl because of the defensive capabilities of both teams, and especially the Seahawks. I could watch a game of cricket for 5 days and be mesmerized. I just didn't grow up with football, so that's why I maybe don't take it quite as naturally, end quote. McElroy did say the way the NFL markets their product, quote, it's a short season, and then once it goes away, people miss it. From a marketing perspective, it's genius, right? They drip feed things, the combine, then the draft, then it's preseason. The season is short, but they drip feed just enough to keep you really interested the whole way through the year, end quote. It's a really smart way to phrase what the NFL does. Because they absolutely do.
I mean, it happens to us like in a progression to like, it's all just like.
It's the drip feed, right?
Right. And for some of the outside, though, I'm sure it looks totally different.
I'm sure with the outside. Well, the thing was, what we have with the NFL, they have for the Premier League, or they have for European soccer is just as fanatical. Yeah. And so it's same but different in the way of they need it every single day, all year round. And it's the similar thing we need football. And now we have college football, obviously, for markets like this that satiate that need when the NFL's not around. But I saw this from John Arand of Puck, that week 1 of the NFL season is expected to include the LA Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. You thought, well, wait a minute. I thought the Super Bowl champ opened up week 1 of the NFL season. Well, the Rams and the Niners are playing in Melbourne, Australia. It's expected to feature a Wednesday game because of the time difference. Obviously, when you want to show the game to a North American audience, you've probably got to play it before you play the Thursday game, which should be the Seattle Seahawks hosting. And I hate that.
Well, there's also something to do with the calendar, which is why the NFL may have a Wednesday game in Thursday instead of a Thursday, Friday to open the season. Because there's something about with the antitrust thing and with when they can play on Fridays and they can't. Like there's a time when the NFL can't play on Fridays.
Okay.
Because it's...
This I didn't know.
Yeah, there's a rule in place, and I'd have to look it up.
So wasn't the Brazil game on a Friday?
It was. There's a certain time of year they can play on Friday.
So they got away with that.
Yes.
From the reporting, if the NFL chooses to put the Melbourne game on Wednesday, the Seahawks game from Seattle reportedly would stay on Thursday. But if the NFL selects Thursday for the Melbourne game, the Seahawks would play on NBC on Wednesday. Okay, so I guess in continuing to read, there is a chance that the Seahawks do open the season, but you've got Wednesday, Thursday that start week 1 of the NFL season. There's a 19-hour time difference between Pacific time and Melbourne. Crazy travel each way, 14 and a half to 16 hours. You know, when you think you go to Australia, yes, it sounds fun because it's Australia and it's
right.
But everything's trying to kill you there, all of the creatures.
Yeah, you can't
even
trust
the kangaroos are trying to fight you.
The koalas
and
aren't
then
nice.
the time difference would be so awful to like rebound from on the flight back, and then the next couple of days when I'm trying to work, when my brain's still thinking I'm 16 hours behind.
So here's the deal. This is why there's the Sports Broadcasting Act from 1961. The law prohibits NFL games from being broadcast within 75 miles of a high school or college football game between the second Friday in September through the second Saturday in December. Now, the NFL has started early enough in September that they didn't have to worry about that because it was like the first. This year, because of the way the calendar falls, it's different. That's why they're looking at a Wednesday, Thursday versus Thursday, Friday for their first 2 games.
I guess it's beneficial that the administration currently hates the NFL.
Yeah.
Because it does feel like a pro-NFL administration would just say, nah, play when you want.
Yep.
So if you're looking that September, that first week in September?
They can't, it's the first week in September. When's Labor Day?
Labor Day is the 7th of September.
Okay, so the second Friday then is when they can't do it.
That's what starts
the
blackout.
That starts the blackout, which is why they're looking at Wednesday, Thursday versus Thursday,
so
Friday.
September 9th and then September 10th.
Yes.
So TBD on that one, but just the idea they're going to Australia. is
Reese,
wild.
it's
to
dumb.
me.
It's dumb.
Like Paris is another thing where I go, there's a desire for this. Because you see the numbers from Super Bowl 60, and I think they were less than Super Bowl 59, but I think Super Bowl 59 had the biggest numbers all time. And so I do understand the NFL thinking the next land to conquer is overseas. And so you do these games in Paris, and you do these games in Australia. Like, are we going to be doing Japan next?
Yeah,
You've got games in Munich. You've got games in Dublin. Dublin's, I think, taking a year off. But you got the 3 in London.
Yeah.
They want to do Rome.
Madrid. I keep banging my head on the wall on this one, Reese, because what do teams strive to have? When the regular season ends, what do the teams at the top want to have?
18 games.
Home field advantage.
Sure.
Okay. They want to host the playoffs. Seattle wanted that this year, right? That's what you want. You want to be the number 1 seed and get home field advantage. They're taking a home divisional game away from either the Rams, I'm sure which one it is, but the Rams or 49ers, one of them is losing a home game.
That's another thing that I hate, because if you're going to get public funding for these stadiums, you should want to do more to keep events at those stadiums.
Well,
and this takes away from that. Because the local revenue gets crushed.
Rams and Niners both likely playoff teams next year.
Yeah.
Maybe playing for the division title. And the tiebreaker might come down to head-to-head. And if you're the team that lost the home game because of this, I'd be pissed.
I'd be less than thrilled.
And God forbid you lower season ticket prices for the team losing the home game.
Yeah, no, that ain't happening.
That's not happening.
I also saw this from the NFL, who won its grievance against the NFLPA, which will ban the union from publishing future player report cards. So all 32 teams got a memo, and then ESPN got the memo Friday morning. The PA is going to continue to collect the report card responses, even if it can't make them public, which is good because then you'll leak it.
Right, yeah, that'll happen.
I enjoy seeing the report cards because I like the owners getting put on blast. Now, the owners don't care, clearly, because it feels like the teams that are graded B's, C's, and D's, they're fine staying that way with whatever. Like the Bengals are always on the low point of that. The Browns sometimes are like in the middle.
Right.
But to have like an odd F here and there.
Cowboys are always at A in facilities.
I always want that. I like transparency. Whenever the NFL and its ownership wants to not make something available, I always want it to be pushed to make that available.
Right.
Whenever they're trying to say, no, they shouldn't be able to see this, it's always because they're hiding something.
See? Nothing attracted me more to my wife when she didn't want me. I was like, hey, you want to go out now? God, I really want to go out there now. I really want to now.
But I just think that if you're not going to provide facilities or proper childcare, or you're going to try to nickel and dime teams with medical equipment or medical staffing, or however the NFL and its owners try to make more money, it's always at the expense of treating humans like humans. Yeah. Right? They're commodities. They're items that the NFL teams individually own and can do with as they please. And I hate that style of thinking, but that's what you've got with a lot of these billionaires. I also go back to the idea that you're sending more games away because only, I think, 1 year in the next 10, they won't be opening a brand new $500, $600, $700 million facility that they've made at taxpayer expense. And I feel like when you're going to have those kinds of things, you need to be as transparent as possible. So maybe it's good that the president hates the NFL as much as he does.
Right.
Or judges that work for him or at his pleasure would rule against the NFL.
Let's get a daily double today. Let's get a daily double this week. Let's get Ohio State men win tonight, Ohio State women tomorrow.
You speak into existence, brother. So it is said, so it shall be done. Coverage tonight starting at 7. We'll be back next week on The Fan.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvis weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain.